It doesn't happen it doesn't happen at the highest level, let alone you come down to the local levels. Not many do it in the Bellarine.
Yeah, no, I think he gets a perfect ground for a lead up forward. I think it's nice, sort of deep pockets, and then has a pretty good midfield coming out, kicking it to him. So he's a dangerous player. If you give him any space in front, he's going to beat you on the lead, take the chest mark, and unfortunately when he does that, he goes back and kicks a goal, or fortunately for Torquay. So
we'll stay across the bar on Heads Anglesey score this afternoon. That clash taking place at Howard Harmer Oval. A big crowd expected there this afternoon as well. And play actually is underway early in the first quarter there. I really like this year with Play HQ. They've actually got the countdown clock, so you actually know where the game's at. Sometimes you're waiting for the scores to update 25 minutes into the last quarter, not knowing whether the game's finished or not. So we'll be able to stay across that score. For the Leopold Sporties, your complete family venue, Kensington Road in Leopold. Umpires this afternoon, it's an experienced trio. David Chaston, Steve Ganaccia and Chris Jones doing his 500th game this afternoon for Geelong umpires. It's a fair effort.
That's a fair effort. It's great. You know, it's a tough gig. It's hard to keep umpires, you know, so to roll out 500 games is fantastic effort. Good luck to Jonesy today.
One of our favourites here on K-Rock Footy too. I think he might have been Umpire of the Year a couple of years ago in the GFNL, and of course our GFNL coverage on krockfootball.live starts next Saturday afternoon from midday, the special time, with a 1:40 bounce, Newtown and Chilwell and North Shore from Elderslie Reserve. Myself, Jay Stowarty, Matty Kershaw and Buzz Conway to bring you all the action between the Towners and the Shoreys to kick off it's sort of our round zero in the GFNL next week.
Yes. You got the B team back calling that one, Kingy. That would be...
Well, you weren't available, unfortunately. You're going to be busy trying to plot the downfall of Geelong Amateur, so yeah. Good luck with that. Now, who have you told somebody who they're going to gribble yet, or are you just going to go head-to-head in the midfield next week?
I think we'll go head-to-head. We've had Shea Durran's had his feet up in Fiji yesterday, so he can come back and probably look after that for us.
Bruce and FNL into the middle with Maguire for Drysdale, and with Piggott in the ruck. Starting in the middle, Sheldon Ham is in there for the Tigers, along with Chase Loftus. They're reigning best and fairest. Ed McCoy's moved numbers from 49 to 12, and Matty Bogue has started in the middle, so keep an eye on that matchup. See who goes to him. It looks like Bogue just at Bruce at the moment, so that will be an entertaining one for Wombat Gully Plant Farm.
And interesting, Nick Egan's gone forward to play on McNamara, so I don't know whether Egan's been used as a forward lately or whether he's playing a defensive role on McNamara, but that's an interesting matchup. Played a lot of footy down back for Lara. Yeah, he might be playing a defensive role on Benny McNamara there.
So McNamara, captain for a second season, and the privilege of wearing the famous number 5, of course, worn by the late, great Roger Boak. I never asked about Travis and what number he's going to wear next year when he returns to Torquay, if he gives it away. First quarter underway. Thanks to Harvey Norman, the Bellarine season starts for Drysdale and Torquay. There's an early free kick for holding the ball going which way. It's going to go to Drysdale, and it's going to come back to Bruce, who is going to take it.
That's Matty Bogue's first touch holding the ball, so he can only improve from there, King.
Welcome back to the Bellarine, Matty. Yeah. First game in 10 years at Bellarine level for Matty Bogue. Bruce to look to send the Hawks into attack, a high left foot kick. Looking down there for a marking target, won't find one, and off the hands of the pack, a tackle late. Is it too high? It is, and a free kick going to the Tigers. Taken by Tommy Grace, who goes wide to right half back. Henderson pulled off the kick, and good tackling from the Hawks, although McCoy now, a quick chance to release a handball to Sheldon Ham. Ham a kick to the wing, and a free kick maybe being paid. It will be to Reef Page. Page with it out of wing for the Tigers. Will send a kick towards right half forward, back with the flight. Priest judging it best. Maybe that held in the breeze slightly as Luke Priest went back with the flight of the ball there, Jamo.
Yeah, it did. It looked like it held up, and that kick's probably not going to be perfect for Anderson.
Luke Priest, like the old man Peter, a left footer, driving it towards the outer wing. Chance here for the Hawks to run. Mitch Clark with the footy. Over the top he goes, but he missed his target. And a chance now, though, for the Hawks. Running to about 45, pulling the kick towards a leading Ruggles, who caught one high. You'll get a free kick. Got the old-fashioned ear massage over the top. He was made to earn it. He didn't mark it, but he'll get the free kick for too high, and we'll go back and have a shot at goal. And a chance to get Drysdale first blood in this opening quarter of action from McCartney Oval. The scoreboard hasn't updated, but gone a couple of minutes here. It's still got the reserve score from earlier in the day. Torquay winning that one 84-35. Hope you're enjoying the call through KROCfootball.live. Tom King and Heath Jamieson bringing you the action, and for those watching through the AFL Bowen live stream, welcome to you. There's Tommy Ruggles coming off 67 goals last year. We'll put Drysdale on the board early. He likes his ground, Tommy, of course, played in a premiership here back in 2009, and he gets first blood in the opening term for Drysdale on the Harvey Norman Corio and Warn Pond scoreboard. It's Drysdale 1 straight 6, Torquay yet to score.
He's a dangerous player to have coming out of the goal square, Tommy Ruggles. Just one of those tough opposition matchups. He's too strong for a small, but probably too agile for a tall. The matchup looks okay, but just got it wrong there with his spoil. McNamara read the ball right, come off his opponent, but the ball just bounced over his head at half-back, and that's why they scored. Umpire
Chaston puts it into the air for McCoy and Piggott. McCoy winning the tap down this time. Loftus tracking it nicely, did okay, tried to get a handball over the top, but missed his target. Diving over the footy was FNL. He couldn't extract it, and it will stay underneath the pack and be a ball up near the point of the square at right half forward. Loftus last to his feet. Umpire Chaston again directing traffic. Just inside the centre square. Torquay slightly in attack. Chance here for McCoy on the loose footy. He pounces. Might have got a push in the back. In fact, he might find himself pinged for holding the footy, and he is. So the free kick will go to the Hawks. It's in the hands of Bailey Sykes, who sends a kick towards the outer wing. Another free kick here for the Hawks for a push. So getting the rub of the green early, Jamo with the men in lime.
Yeah, well, I think the free kicks have all been there, so Torquay just probably have to pull their discipline in a little bit more.
Heath Jamieson in the experts chair, thanks to the Sporting Globe. Eat, Drink, Sport, Ryrie Street in Geelong. Kick inside forward 50 for the Hawks. It's gone out of bounds. Boundary throwing. McCoy doing the ruck work from behind for Torquay. Chance at the front. Bogue tried to get it to Henderson, but missed the target. Tackle laid by. Over the top, Max Hurley. And a free kick for Drysdale. Kick towards the top of the square. Ruggles the target through the hands of the pack. Now at the back, they've got numbers to clean up Croxford involved. Tight in the pocket. They look to get out of trouble, although falling over was Waylon Doyle. Big country at the wrong time. Quick snap around the corner has missed. I didn't catch who that was, Jamo.
It was Jack Hargraves.
Hargraves in the long sleeves.
Went for the Boonana and didn't bring it back far enough.
The margin is 7-1-1-7. They lead the Hawks. Tigers yet to score. Billy Henderson will bring the ball back into play once the ball does finally make its way from out of the crowd. Hope you're enjoying the call through KROCfootball.live and the AFL Bowen live stream. Thanks to APCO service stations, KROCfootball.live. Every APCO service station open 24/7 this Easter. And join us from the MCG on Monday afternoon, I should say. Easter Monday, traditional clash between the Cats and the Hawks. 2 o'clock on air for a 3:20 bounce. Billy Henderson runs into the right back pocket, goes short and finds a marking target. It's Grace, and he goes short to Bogue, and Bogue's got it at right half back, right at the 50 for the Tigers. He goes short back to Henderson, who just worked up the ground to mark. But they're like Australia 2 tacking into the breeze at the moment, the Tigers, with this defensive exit. Kick to the outer wing is a good one, and the mark taken in the hands by Reef Page coming up strongly. No Clay Page this afternoon. Reef's got it. He might get called to play on here. He's a little bit caught in two minds, so he just drives a high long ball towards half forward. McCoy's target. Ground level, little handball is okay. Chance here for Sheldon Ham. Open goal square. Bouncing ball. Will it get the distance? It actually will bounce into the waiting arms of Flynn Shergwin, but he's taken out of bounds, and it'll be a boundary throw in left forward pocket, and I think the first time inside forward 50 for the Tigers, Jamo.
Yeah, it might have been lucky there, Shergwin. I thought he just walked over the line with it. Torquay had their arms out, but throw the ball in.
Good crowd assembled here at McCartney Oval for this Easter Saturday special. Piggott winning the tap down. Front of the pack, FNL got a handball back. Heard a voice, tried to get it back to Tom Randoni. But Tigers going to come up with it. Loftus has got involved. He's had his kick smothered though. Chance again. Handball back, and not much room to work with, and out of bounds was Jacob Ireland as he went to kick on the left. And a boundary throw in right where the 50 will meet the boundary. Well, that breeze is really fluky. probably coming now a little bit out of the south and favouring the end Drysdale's kicking, Jamo, for South Point Garden Supplies.
Yeah, I'd agree, mate. It's turned around and heading with the away team, which doesn't usually happen down here too often.
Ball back into play. Anderson doing the ruck work. Got his man under the footy and then quickly snapped Gary Ablett style out of the ruck, but he's pulled it too far and put it out of bounds on the full. As Lucas Anderson, coming off 86 goals last year, had a wonderful season.
Drysdale like a little bit more coverage at the back of the contest there. If Anderson does that too many times, they'll be going through.
Tim Delaney with the footy. No Cam Delaney this afternoon. Delaney brings it to half back, looking for a marking target. It goes over the head of Chris Tainton and marked safely there by Hurley. Hurley will send it inside forward 50 for the Tigers. Marking target was Tommy Diamond, and he couldn't hang on to it, and it's at ground level now, and we'll get a stoppage. About 48 out from goal. Last man up was Tom Grace, and umpire Jones in game 500 will put it into the air. McCoy and Piggott will call a lot of them today. Tap one down by Piggott. Was Bruce giving a handball off to Flynn Sherwin. Sherwin's kick to the winger, rolling ball. Ruggles will come one way, Henderson the other. Ruggles took the footy and then went to ground, was taken down in a tackle. Umpire said holding the ball. So he stumbled as he picked up the footy, Tommy Ruggles, and the umpire said he made no effort to get rid of the footy, and Jacob Ireland will be rewarded with the free kick. Billy Henderson's an option back if he wants him, and that's where he's going to go. In fact, no, goes further back to Bogue, and Bogue's marked at the top of his defensive 50-metre arc. Into the middle he goes to Loftus, who's seen a lot of it early for Kerrs Hire. He's kicked out of the middle of the ground, is well weighted. Chance for Sheldon Ham to hit the ground running. Drives the Tigers inside forward 50, looking for Anderson. Kick had a little bit too much on it at the back numbers with the Hawks. So they're going to ground, and losing the footy was Piggott. Anderson there again, holding the ball too long. He took to kick the ball, and as a result just dropped it on the ground.
Going probably a bit high and long, I reckon, Torquay into their forward 50. I'm sure that doesn't suit their forwards.
It might be Tainton bringing it towards our broadcast wing. Doyle flew, could mark for the Tigers. Here's Ruggles for Drysdale, cutting his way through the pack, sharing a handball back. Chance now for Mitch Clark for Drysdale. He had it knocked away by McCoy, and he just palmed it into the path of McNamara. Dribbled to kick inside 50 for Torquay. Anderson took it cleanly, couldn't get out of the tackle of Priest, and now a clearing kick will come from Jack Priest to half back, and he finds Maguire, the skipper. We haven't called Mitch Maguire's name yet, I don't think, in this opening quarter of action. Maguire will look to send it forward. Surely there's a push against Loftus there, and it'll be a free kick, and it'll go to FNL for Drysdale. Right half forward, puts it inside forward 50, target. No, it's actually out the full. His target was Benny Henderson, but it's gone over his head and floated out of bounds. So just maybe the breeze pushing into that right forward pocket at the northern end of the ground, Jamo.
Yeah, it is. And Henderson working hard forward there. He might be getting his change. But I've been impressed by him early days, Kingy.
Here's Benny Henderson for Torquay, 1-2, received it back from Bogue. Now kick towards half back. Just getting used to Matty Bogue in a Torquay jumper again. Here's Loftus. That's an absolute mung floater off the boot. Fennell on his left sends it long. In fact, it was Page with the poor kick. And now here's Ruggles all alone in the goal square. And the turnover is absolutely fried Torquay there. 2-1-13 Drysdale go to as Ruggles kicks the easiest goal he'll ever see. Torquay yet to score in this opening term of action that we've gone about 12 minutes on the Barwon Foods time clock. Barwon Foods selling the freshest fish direct to you. Donga Road, North Geelong. And for the Sporting Globe, here's Heath Jamieson.
Yeah, it's a high risk, high reward trying to bring the ball back through the middle. If you hit the kick, generally you get some good movement your way, but if you don't hit the kick, that's what happens. And Ruggs was having a little rest out the back and got the one on his chest and ran through the open goal.
So 2 for Tommy Ruggles, starting the season like he finished it, kicking plenty of goals. Piggott got high, won the tap down. Here's Fennell again. He's been good this afternoon. Snaps a kick around his body, looking for Mitch Clark. Henderson, with all his experience for Torquay, worked him off it, marked and then kicked quickly. And they'll look to build. Hands in the footy. The footy in the hands, I should say, of Marnie. Kick inside forward 50 and did no favours for Anderson. Getting down low, taking a good mark was Tim Delaney. Delaney across the face of his defensive goal for Drysdale. And the mark taken by Nick Egan, and the former Lara and Newtown GFL player just sets it out very, very wide. He's put that out in the full as he went looking for Tom Randoni. And the breeze maybe just pushing that out. Ireland taking the free kick short to Bogue. Bogue at left half forward sends the Tigers in attack, wanting Anderson. Fisted away by Delaney. Ball hits the ground. It's outside defensive 50. Below his bootlaces, bruised, a handball up. Here's Luke Priest for Drysdale, but he's turned it over to Carty, the veteran. Slung in the tackle by Clark and lost the footy. Carty dives back in over the top. Umpire at the edge of the centre square says, give it to me. I'll ball it up.
Delaney started really well on Anderson. He's nearly the perfect matchup. Similar size, similar attributes.
Wombat Gully Plant Farm matchup. Piggott winning the tap down. Head over the footy, maybe copping one high. There was Nick Egan. Umpire didn't see it that way, and now he's going to ping him for holding the ball. As he went down to get the ball, he went to ground, and they afford you no real chance there. Carty short with the kick, the veteran, to Bogue. Bogue turns and kicks quickly into the pocket. Not a great kick. Asks a lot of both Anderson and also Paddy Hughes. But Anderson with a wonderful snap around the corner. A goal of the day contender from Lucas Anderson. Doesn't need much of a sider, and with that nice finish puts through the Tigers' first of the season. 86 last year, he's got one already in 2024. Torquay 1 straight 6. Drysdale 2-1-13 on the opening quarter. Harvey Norman, Corio and Warren Pond scoreboard. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices.
Delaney probably just a little bit stiff there. He went to kill the contest and couldn't quite get his fist on it. Anderson stayed down, and yeah, he's a good finisher.
What did you have him for? 1 or 2 years at Joey's?
1.
Yep.
Yep.
It was a pretty good one too. Back in the middle, Piggott winning the tap down. There's going to be a free kick going to the Hawks, and it's going to go to Maguire. Gives a handball off. They look to run. Egan gave it off by hand to Bruce. Long driving ball for Drysdale, but Doyle read it best off the boot, juggled the mark and then ran away through defensive 50. The kick a little bit too much pepper on it for Sheldon Ham, although he went back there and worried Egan out of it, won the footy. Chance for the Tigers, the handball, though, missing the target from Marnie, and it's out of bounds for a boundary throw-in, almost a true centre wing on the outer side. Round the grounds for Leopold Sporties, Barwon heads 2-2-14, leading Anglesey 2-1-13 at Howard Harmer Oval, as we click down to, on the Barwon Foods time clock, 5 3/4 minutes to play in the opening term there. Piggott winning the tap down. Ball knocked forward, might have been Maguire on hands and knees. Now falls for Brewster. I reckon there's a free kick. Advantage is paid inside 50. Hargraves couldn't position himself, and the mark well taken for the Tigers in the headband by McNamara. Short kick was okay. In fact, it was Joel Watson that was actually in that contest with McNamara. Max Hurley will run away at right half back for the Tigers. Send a kick towards half forward and stretching and marking for a quick handball off to Henderson. Henderson gives a handball off. Hurley around the corner, bouncing ball. Chance now for the Tigers. It's with McLeod, premiership player from last year. Now a kick inside forward 50, and Baxter Mensch, who I don't think we've seen yet, Jamo, has bobbed up and marked in the right forward pocket.
Just fell in a little hole there and they found him. Good side for a left footer.
Baxter Mensch had a wonderful season 2 years ago with Geelong West. He'll step out on the J curve and snap on the left, and he'll kick the Tigers second and pull the margin back to a point. So after the Hawks got the jump, kicked the first two, Torquay have responded with a couple of quick ones through Anderson and now Mensch, and Torquay go to 2 straight 12. Drysdale 2-1-13, and it's fair to say the scoreboard for Harvey Norman needs to play catch up here at McCartney Oval.
He could have got a new one of those over the off season.
Harvey Norman have got screens that big.
They do. They could get one in easy. I think just falling down a little bit across half forward at the moment, the Hawks. Ruggles looks very dangerous deep, but Torquay cleaning up the ball at half back and then going their own way.
So Mensch with the goal. Barwon Foods time clock. We've gone about the 16 minutes in this opening term. Back in the middle. And a chance here for Sheldon Ham. Gave a handball. And a quick snap around the corner from Tom Diamond, and they're inside 50 again. Mark not paid, but a quick snap here from McLeod. Open goal square. Will go over the head of the pack and roll out of bounds in the left forward pocket for a boundary throw-in at the southern end. Big crowd here at McCartney Oval. I hope you're enjoying the call through KRockFootball.live. Tom King and Heath Jamison bringing you the action. And AFL Barwon live stream as well for those watching wherever you are around the world. Hope you're enjoying this contest. Entertaining one so far. There's going to be a free kick from the ruck contest. There's a bit of push and shove. FNL involved, and it's going to come back to Lucas Anderson, and they're just taking umbrage, and now a 50-metre penalty as well. So he's going to be gifted his second here, Anderson, and Ben FNL's the one they've taken umbrage with here.
Yeah, I don't know if he tried to. I thought he just tried to soccer the ball off the ground, and Anderson tried to dive and grab the ball with his hands. That's what it looked like to me, but I didn't think there was anything untoward. But
so Anderson kicks his second from the top of the goal square, and the Tigers take the lead for the first time this afternoon. They're 3 straight 18. Drysdale 2-1-13 in this opening quarter, thanks to Harvey Norman, Corio and Warren Ponds. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices.
Just a bit of momentum coming for Torquay now, really just banging the ball forward at every opportunity and getting their smalls and talls to go to work up there. So Drysdale have to get their hands back on the ball through the middle of the ground and get some service to their forwards.
Back in the middle, Maguire banging it long for Drysdale. Ruggles front position from behind. Croxford was able to get a spoil on it. Ball will roll towards the back pocket and out of bounds. Torquay happy to see it out with Cooper Hurd there in the long sleeves. Seeing it out. Boundary throw in left forward pocket. Northern end of the ground. Drysdale in attack. Now trailing by 5 after leading by 13. It's been Anderson mentioned, then Anderson again with 3 consecutive goals in as many minutes. Tamassi in the ruck winning the tap down to the front of the pack. Hargraves there for Drysdale, couldn't take it. Quick handball on the up, found Loftus. That came out from Cooper Hurd and he kicks it to half back, and it's a good ball too. And the mark taken out there by McLeod. McLeod gives off a handball. Loftus kept running. Now drives a kick towards half forward. Anderson's got out the back. Mark, but he's a long way from home. He'd be about 65. Turns and kicks quickly, but he had his kick partially smothered. And it's going to fall for the Hawks here. Head over the footy was Jack Jenkins. And we'll get a stoppage about 45 out from goal. Last man up is Marnie, and we've caught a little bit of in the last few minutes, just getting his hands on the footy for the Tigers. The former Geelong Falcon, Camperdown and Southern Mallee Giants. Anderson doing the ruck work from behind. Won the tap from Piggott. Bursting his way through the pack was Paddy Hughes. He's been able to duck out a tackle and then send a long, high ball to the goal square, but numbers back for the Hawks, although it was spoiled. And now a little soccer off the ground, and Diamond is there to be able to knock it through. Delaney going back with the flight, just couldn't hang on to it. It was good work, I reckon, done there by Reef Page to force a spillage, and Tommy Diamond was the beneficiary. He was able to toe poke it through and kick the Tigers fourth as they go to 4 straight 24. Drysdale 2-1-13 on the first quarter. K-Rock, Harvey Norman, Corio and Warren Pond scoreboard.
Yeah, well, Anderson come out to take the ruck work, which left Delaney in a 2-on-1 for Drysdale at the top of the square, and he just couldn't quite get the ball over the line. He'd be disappointed with that, and Reef Page did a great effort in a 1-on-2 to bring the ball to ground, and yeah, another goal for Torquay. 21
minutes played thanks to Barwon Food, selling the freshest fish direct to you. Donga Road in North Geelong. They would have been crazy in there leading up to Good Friday. Back in the middle, Henderson doing the ruck work now for Drysdale. Maguire over the top, laying a tackle, but the ball's extracted out of the pack by Bode. Quick kick towards right half forward, bouncing ball attacked there by Luke Priest, and he gives a handball off. They look to get out of trouble for Nell, and just need a steadier here. The Hawks overrunning the footy and leaving it behind with Shergwin. Now a chance for McCoy, gave a handball off. Sheldon Ham has been really busy in this opening term. Now a kick inside 50. Anderson came up, flew, couldn't take the mark. Hands to the pack, Hughes from 45. Open goal, classy finish. And that's why he's the reigning Morrish medalist in the Coates Talent League, I should say. And he kicks the 5th for the Tigers. They have gone whack, whack, whack on Drysdale, and now have opened up a 17-point buffer as Hughes kicks his first of the afternoon on the K-Rock Harvey Norman scoreboard. They're 5 straight 30 Torquay. Drysdale 2-1-13. They're powerless, Drysdale, at the moment to stop this onslaught.
Yeah, just inside 50 count must have swung heavily in Torquay's favour, and they're kicking goal every time it goes in at the moment. Drysdale need to get their hands on the footy, maybe slow it down a little bit, just kick and catch and get back into the game.
Back in the middle, Drysdale need to find a way to get a goal here, but Loftus has been good. It's palmed down. Might have been Croxford trying to knock it into the path of Tommy Grace, but didn't do so successfully. Head over the footy, Maguire, the skipper for the Hawks, but he couldn't take it away. Now they'll clear. FNL will send it a high and long, looking for a marking target. Brewster's gone forward, fisted away from him. Doyle was involved. Front of the pack, the Hawks have got numbers. Sykes received the handball from Egan. Long shot at goal. Good finish from Bailey Sykes. They needed one and they got one. Good release from Egan, and Sykes on the left foot, always damaging. And they pull the margin back to 11 points. 3-1-19. Torquay 5 straight 30. Opening term action thanks to Harvey Norman, Corio and Warren Ponds. KROC-Football.live and AFL Barwon live stream.
It was a funny one. The FNL stayed out of the contest. Someone tunnel balled it back to him. He long kick forward, and they got the contest they needed. Drysdale up forward, brought the ball to ground, and brings the smaller players into the ground. Sykes has come off a wing. Nice finish from 50. Got a beautiful run in with the breeze.
Averaged a goal a game last year. 22 games, 22 goals last year. Back in the middle, Henderson, the double palm down. Maguire, the roving, but he's held up by Mensch and not going anywhere, and we'll get a ball up. The centre circle that's on the more western side of the ground being used. McCoy, the tap down, the roving done by Henderson under pressure. That's holding the ball. And a free kick will go to Bogue. Coming off the best and fairest at Newtown and Chilwell last year, Matty Bogue. Sends a kick towards right half forward, outer side of the ground. Ball fisted away for the Hawks. Numbers are there. Chance to clear. Shergin was involved, and they'll look to attack through Jenkins. Kick towards half forward. A bouncing ball missed Henderson. Had to lay a tackle. It was a good one. 2 on Ham. Forced a spillage of the ball, but the Tigers got numbers. Bowe gave it back to Croxford. Quick kick around the corner. Rolls towards half forward. Although Maguire was able to just halt the progress of the footy. Diamond halts his progress, and it's a bit scrappy now, and we'll get a ball up. So slightly forward to the centre circle. Torquay in attack, leading by 11 points as we approach quarter time. 5 straight 30, playing 3-1-19. Umpire Chaston puts it into the air for McCoy and Henderson. Henderson winning the tap down. Chance for Hurley for Torquay to send the Tigers forward. It rolls inside forward 50. Reef Page was there, and he was reefed off the footy. Out the back, head over it. Was well picked up and nicely done by O'Dowd, who now kicks for Sykes, who had to stretch but did well. Mark, that's a good hamstring tester early in the season, Jamo.
Yep, you don't want too many of them round one.
Sykes has got Maguire loose at half-back, and the Hawk skipper's got it. He'll turn and quickly play on, and the little kick's okay for Jai Hawkins. Hawkins along the boundary line. Bruce, did he keep it alive? No, out on the full. That breeze just, it's blowing probably from out of the southwest corner, just pushing it across the ground. And McNamara right below our best seats in the house for Rapco Cafe 24/7. Off the deck here at McCartney Oval. Takes the free kick, short to Jacob Island. Third season, I should say, coming down from Greensborough in the Northern League at the start of 2022's fitted in hand in glove. Front of the pack numbers there for the Tigers. Mensch, quick release to McNamara. The skipper's kick just out of the stretch of Anderson. Boundary line tight. Tried to step through Delaney with a handball, then socketed off the ground and then socketed out of bounds. And it is a boundary throw-in beside the left-hand behind post. At the left-hand end of your screen, if you're watching through the AFL Barwon TV feed, or your left ear if you're listening through KROC-Football.live. Henderson doing the ruck work and winning the tap for the Hawks, but there's numbers there, including Doyle giving off to Hughes. Hughes looking for his second. Has he jagged it? No, just across the face, through for a minor score, and that's their first behind of the afternoon. Torquay as they lead 5-1-31, Drysdale 3-1-19, approaching quarter time. Hawks clear outside defensive 50, and the mark taken by Hawkins. The diminutive Hawkins kicks to the wing. Oh, Henderson just easily worked his opponent off the footy and took the mark. Henderson flirts with the boundary line, true centre wing. Loftus wants to come in, board. Just got it to his intended target in Hurley. Hurley bursts away, sends it long inside forward 50, over the head of Reef Page. Back of the pack, chance here for Hughes. Handball over his shoulder, bouncing ball. Diamond brought to ground over the top. Tackle laid by Delaney. Ball spills out in the left forward pocket and then spills under the pack. Well, that's a chance here to clear. High ball coming out from Jack Priest, a floater that'll go over the head of the pack, roll towards the boundary line. Hawkins tracking it, try to keep it alive with a handball back inboard. Numbers there for the Tigers, although it's stolen. The Henderson handball taken away by Randoni. Inside forward 50, Ruggles from behind. Had to play spoiler, forced a spillage. Egan, Ruggles, a fumble. Now picked it up, snapped, rolling and goaling. Quality from Tom Ruggles, he's got his third. The fumble actually might have helped him in the end. It just got his defender off him, and he pulls the margin back to 5 points. 4-1-25 the Hawks, make it 6 points. Torquay 5-1-31. Opening quarter, Harvey Norman, Corio and Warren Pond scoreboard.
Every time they get the ball past that half-forward line, they look dangerous. You know, Ruggles looks like he's going to score every time the ball comes into him. So intercept handball here at half back. I think Henderson tried to handball it to his teammate. Drysdale intercept, and then we're able to carry that line. And as soon as they do, they look dangerous. So, yeah, if they keep getting the ball into Ruggles one-on-one, they may have to look at maybe McNamara going back there.
Ball in the air. McCoy got high, won the tap. Although FNL will be first onto it for Drysdale. He couldn't get a handle on it. Mensch had a fresh air as he went to kick, so he went again and dived on the loose foot. He was able to shovel it forward into the direction of Ham. Coming the other way was Jack Priest for Drysdale over the footy. Umpire Ganachia says, give it to me, I'll ball it up near the point of the square. Right half forward for Torquay. 5 straight 30 playing 3-1-19. Sorry, I should say 5-1-31 playing 4-1-25. Scoreboard just a little bit behind. Piggott winning the tap down. Can they find one to level the scores approaching quarter time? A high floater from Sherwin towards left half forward. Double fist from Doyle. There's going to be a free kick for a hold against Doyle. He double fisted the footy, didn't he?
Yeah, I didn't think there was much there.
And he's kicked straight into the man on the mark as Bruce, but he's been able to pick up the loose footy. Neat little kick from Sherwin onto the chest of Ruggles, who'll have a shot at his fourth. And you just said it, Jamo, for the Sporting Globe. Every time they go inside 50, Ruggles looks dangerous.
Yeah, he's a good player, isn't he? So he knows when to lead, when to stay. He knows how he can get in front of his opponent. Yeah, it's a tough matchup. Like I said before, he's too clever for a small, too strong, too quick for a tall. So McNamara might be the one that has to go back. I know he's a good intercept marker, but...
Shot at goal from Ruggles has missed to his near side, through for a minor score, and the margin is 5. 5-1-31, plays 4-2-26 on the opening quarter. Harvey Norman, K-Rock, Corio and Warm Pond scoreboard. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices. Henderson's kick in, marked by Ireland. He'll go back to Henderson in the left back pocket. He'll then bring a kick towards our broadcast position. I reckon he put it out in the full in looking for Sheldon Ham, and he did. And the free kick will go to Bailey Sykes. Distance would probably test, although it'll suit his left boot from 55. Sends it to the goal square, and uncontested, although the mark was dropped by Joel Watson. Missed opportunity there for the Hawks, and we'll get a stoppage in the goal square. I think, if anything, Watson probably thought, how the hell am I so alone in my own goal square?
Spot on. Spot on. I think he was waiting for someone to come, and they didn't come.
Bracing for contact, maybe made hard hands. So right on the goal line, ball into the air. McCoy can't concede it behind, so he wins the tap down. Ruggles, hands and knees. Somehow got a boot to the ball. Somehow, no. Touched is the decision on the goal line. Margin is 4. So I don't know whether that's a rush behind or behind a Ruggles. I think rushed will be the best way to describe that for Tommy Ruggles. 4-3-27, playing 5-1-31. Margin is 4 in this entertaining opening turn. The short kick in from Henderson is marked by Cooper Hurd in the long sleeves. Hurd will go into the right back pocket. Find Grace. Grace to Croxford. And the experienced Michael Croxford has got it at half back. In front of the scoreboard. It's just a little bit behind. It shows Torquay leading by 11, but the margin is in fact 4 as we approach quarter time. Kick to the wing. Priest flew. That was Luke. Couldn't hang on to it for Drysdale. And as a result, we might get a stoppage now. Extracted from out of the pack. Quick kick around the corner came from Harry McLeod. And now handball forward. Hughes involved with Diamond. Got it back, Hughes. Hughes runs to 55. Open goal square. Mifsud the best on ground in last year's grand final. Had it spoiled by Sykes. Good defensive effort. Knocked through for a behind. Margin is again 5. Mifsud 6 in the grand final. Barely sighted so far in this opening term. Short kick in to the right back pocket. And then I think that's Watson who's marked.
Sykes, I think.
In fact, it was Sykes. It's Bailey Sykes with it. To half back. Randoni is his target. It's 3-on-1, and it's going to land on the chest of McNamara unexpectedly. Quick kick inside 50. Here's Mifsud. Now, did he call Ireland out? Because Ireland ducked.
Oh, I think McNamara just missed the kick, and it just landed in Mifsud's hands.
So Nathan Mifsud, 24 goals last year, best on ground in last year's grand final. Goes at a goal a game in Tiger colours. We'll need to start this one right goalpost, you would suspect, to work it back. We'll kick from around 40, starts it there, and that is where it goes. Nice finish from Nathan Mifsud. Just as we said, we hadn't seen a lot of him in this opening term. He finds a goal late, and the Tigers now push their margin out to 11 points. 6-2-38 plays 4-3-27 in this opening term of K-Rock football action. KRockFootball.live, Harvey Norman, Cryo and Warren Pond's opening term.
And I mentioned about maybe McNamara going back, but that's what he's so good at, the intercept play on the wing. So it's a catch-22. Do you send him back to look after Ruggles for a minute, or do you want to keep him high and hope the ball doesn't get down to Ruggles? So both options are probably right.
Back in the middle, Pickett climbing high, winning the tap down. Bruce did the roving, but wasn't able to extract himself from the men's tackle. And the umpire says, give it to me, you're going nowhere. Umpires Chaston, Ganachia and Chris Jones in game 500 this afternoon. Ball into the air. Tap down one by Tamasi. Quick kick forward for Nell, rolling ball, taken cleanly by Watson, but he's brought to ground in a really good tackle and going nowhere. That's Hurley over the top, ensuring that he wasn't letting go of Joel Watson. We'll get a ball up. 45 out from the Hawks' goal. Tamasi winning the tap. Mensch tried to get a clearing kick, was able to roll it about 8 metres into the path of Mifsud, who gave it to Grace at close quarters for Torquay. Bouncing ball was taken cleanly by Reef Page in the centre circles, but he was brought to ground in a really good tackle, and that is quarter time here at McCartney Oval. Torquay, after conceding the first couple of goals, then gave themselves a 17-point buffer. The margin got back to 4 points at one stage for Drysdale before a late goal from Nathan Mifsud gave Torquay an 11-point buffer at quarter time. We'll take a break from here at McCartney Oval, where it's the reigning premier Torquay. They lead Drysdale by 11 points through
having much impact, scoring both ends of the ground.
32 plays 28. Anglesey leading Barwon Heads in the second quarter with we're a little bit behind here. There's 14 minutes 20 to play in that second term at Howard Harmer Oval. Around the grounds for Leopold Sporties, your complete family venue. 38 playing 27 here at quarter time at McCartney Oval. Goal kickers 3 for Tommy Ruggles in that opening term. And for Torquay, a couple for Lucas Anderson and a bunch of singles, Diamond, Mifsud, Paddy Hughes and Baxter Mensch. Bailey Sykes kicking the other goal for Drysdale. Big crowd just making its way off McCartney Oval. Good mix of yellow and black and brown and gold here this afternoon. And of course plenty of action over on the netball courts as well. So just the last remnants making their way off the ground. Not too much change for Wombat Gully Plant Farm in the middle. Bogue and Bruce will start next to each other.
But one of the DeConing boys just go past. I think it might have been the one from Colton just walking underneath.
Right.
Tom
Hawkins was spied at Mottawarri in Geelong. He's occasionally spied at Mottawarri. That's his local club, living in that neck of the Geelong region.
Let's hope he doesn't end up there.
Second quarter underway here at McCartney Oval, thanks to Morris and Morris Business Class Finance. It's asset lending the way it should be. Call 1300 for Morris to upgrade to Business Class Finance. And it's Sheldon Ham quickly sending Torquay into attack. A bouncing ball towards the top of the square. Drysdale have been able to roll numbers back. Chance here for Delaney, and he's dragged down in a tackle about 15 metres out from his defensive goal. Coming across from Grovedale, both he and his brother Cam. Tim obviously marrying into Drysdale royalty, marrying into the Edsel family. Ball in the right forward pocket. Is that Ireland dragged to ground, or in fact it might have been Marnie, and he's not getting out of there.
He's paid a high free kick, I think.
Has paid a high free kick. So it will be a free kick in the tight in the right forward pocket. That is the Mitch Scott pocket, for those who remember him in the 2010 grand final, jagging two of the most incredible goals you'll ever see as Drysdale went back to back. Marnie will go with the right foot banana. He's hit it okay, but a little bit skinny, and through for a minor score, and the margin is 10. Barn Foods time clock. We've done just over a minute in this second term. Torquay 6-3-39. Drysdale 4-3-27. And the margin at 12 points. Kick-in comes from Jenkins, a high ball towards the outer side for Drysdale, and his target is Piggott, and he's been paid the mark as Matty Piggott. Real murmur around the ground as Piggott sends it to the wing. Henderson might have got nudged under the footy. Umpire didn't see it that way. Tainton lying a tackle over the top. McNamara over the top for Torquay. And we'll get a ball up true centre wing out of side.
Just contrasting styles. Drysdale using the ball long, getting numbers front and centre to the contest. Torquay come more through the middle.
FNL does some good roving from the ruck contest for Drysdale. Bombs it long inside forward 50. Ruggles and Croxford in a good battle. Croxford did well, spoiled, and then shared a handball with Carty. Carty to Henderson. Back to Croxford. Croxford outside defensive 50 to Bogue. Try to get it to Doyle. Doyle just out of his grasp, and he just managed to knock it into the path of Fennell. Fennell's high ball to a one-on-one. Brought to ground, front of the pack. Chance for Sherwin. He was dragged to ground. Grace got hold of him, and 40 metres out from the Drysdale goal. We'll get a ball up.
They banged the ball back in forward, but Ruggles had stayed, and his opponent Croxford had ran off, and he was by himself in the forward pocket, but they couldn't find him. Ball
into the air. Tapped down McCoy, knocked away by McNamara for Torquay. Maguire head over for Drysdale. Quick high ball from Mitch Clark into the left forward pocket. It'll float, sitting under it, but unable to complete the mark. But he was able to get away. FNL did okay. Handball on the bounce. Sherwin tighten the pocket. No room to work with. He's out of bounds. We'll get a boundary throw in left forward pocket. Southern end of the ground. Drysdale in attack in this second term of action. That on the Barn Foods time clock has ticked over 3 minutes, and the scoreboard still slightly out here, saying 45-27, but it is 39-27. The margin at 12. Clark fisted forward. Henderson, quick snap. Fennell missed to the near side, through for a minor score. But he's getting his hands on the footy, Ben Fennell.
He is, and that's a good sign for Drysdale. He's obviously a quality player.
One you'll be putting a little bit of time into, I suspect, when you run into the Hawks. Jamo, Henderson, kick into the left back pocket. They'll look to build. Ireland to Henderson. Bogue try to get back to Ireland. Stolen by Hargraves, and he'll get a free kick. He was being held before he took possession. It's probably a professional free kick in the end. Hargraves now kick looking for the fly. Egan went early. He'll give away a free kick, I suspect. Or is it going to be a free kick? Yep, it's going to be against Egan. Went before acceptances, and as a result, giving away a free kick. Loftus, who was really good, the reigning best and fairest in the opening term. Short to Croxford, who's seen a bit of it down back in this opening quarter and a bit. He sends a long ball towards the outer side. Doyle fisted away from him, or Reef Page should say, fisted away from him. Now here's Doyle jamming it on the boot, looking for Ireland. He couldn't mark. Well done by Jack Priest, who gave a handball off. Quick kick forward for the Hawks came from O'Dowd. They got numbers back there, Torquay. Oh, the Henderson overran the footy. Ruggles a handball into space, trying to find FNL. He went to ground. Loftus got back to worry him out of it. He dived on the footy, wrapped up, but going nowhere as Mitch Clark appealed for holding the ball. Been lively down there, Mitch Clark. Not much of him. Tapped down by McCoy. It's going to be a free kick against Henderson in the ruck contest. The reigning rookie of the year, who took, I think, the mark of the year too last year for AFL Barwon, goes short to Bogue. Bogue will send it very, very wide, but a well-weighted ball. And McNamara on the juggle completes a nice mark. A Hamlin hanger as he went to ground, juggled it nicely in front of Priest. He goes short, and the kick's okay. Now it comes wide, next to the boundary line. Grace has hung on to the footy. Grace, where will he send it? Anderson on the lead, had his run blocked, but it didn't matter because Paddy Hughes, coming across in front, has taken the mark and a chance to go back and kick his second of the afternoon.
Just Bogue getting in those holes in the middle of the ground. Drysdale got to be really careful. He just runs that pattern straight down the middle of the ground, and when they use him, he's a nice distributor. Come out to McNamara, then 2 kicks forward, and Hughes looks lively, doesn't he?
Second term action thanks to Morris Business Class Finance, Nath Murray and all the team. Hughes from 30 metres out, just right of centre, has snuck it in at the right-hand goal post. 2 for Paddy Hughes. And Torquay skip away to a 17-point buffer. They go to 7-3-45. Drysdale, a 4-4-28. Morris Business Class Finance. It's asset lending the way it should be. Call 1300-4-Morris to upgrade to Business Class Finance. And for the Sporting Globe, here's Heath Jamieson.
Yeah, well, Drysdale locked the ball in their forward half, probably the first 4 or 5 minutes of that quarter, and couldn't quite score, and then goes the other end, and Torquay just have a nice lead-out mark, kick a goal. It's sort of a heartbreaker.
8 minutes played on the Barwon Foods time clock, back in the middle. Piggott and McCoy. Piggott this time winning the tap down. Rolling ball, Loftus tried to shrug off Egan, dumped in the tackle, forced a spillage. Piggott, Clark a fumble at the opportune time for the Hawks, but he'll come again. He's dragged down, although taken high maybe by Henderson. Advantage paid. Chance here for Egan, lowered the eyes. Well, I don't reckon that was his intended target, Watson. I reckon he was loading up and might have mishit the kick.
I agree with you.
And Joel Watson will have a shot at goal with the man on the mark standing just inside 40, you would suspect. Right-hand goal post again, Jamo. Would have to be the target for Joel Watson.
Yep.
Need to pull one back here, the Hawks. That's where he starts it, and he's brought it back beautifully. Read the breeze nicely. Good finish from Joel Watson, and that is his first senior goal at Bellarine League level, playing his 22nd game and his first senior game since round 8 last year. He pulls the margin back to 11 on the second quarter. Morris Business Class Finance scoreboard. It's asset lending the way it should be. Call 1300-4-Morris to upgrade to Business Class Finance. 5-4-34 Drysdale. Torquay 7-3-45. Margin 11. Good crowd here at McCartney Oval as Watson kicks the goal at the 8-minute mark from the ruck contest. Ball gets towards centre half forward. Diamond with the don't argue, not bad to get rid of Randoni, and then a high kick inside 50. Spoil across the front of the pack was good from the Hawks to send it out of bounds, and we'll get a boundary throw-in that came from Jai Hawkins, who there's not a lot of. He struggled to get wet in a storm. Boundary throw in right forward pocket. Torquay attacking the northern end in this second term. From behind, Pickett won the tap down. Egan head over it. Chance here for the Hawks to clear Priest with a handball. That was Jack, and then running out of room as he tried to kick around the corner was Tom Randoni. And we'll get a boundary throw-in.
Probably fortunate to run out of room there because he whacked it on the left foot, and the big ruckman from Torquay was about to run inside 50.
Here is McCoy from behind against Pickett. Pickett almost did the roving off McCoy. Front of the pack, Bruce cleaned up for Drysdale. Snapped a kick around his body, and it was a good, well-weighted ball too. Well judged by Watson, who marked the previous goal kicker. McNamara trying to make sure he just stands on the mark. Short kick, McCoy did well, got a hand on it. Knocked it away from the intended target and Clark. And then Latchley with a kick to Bogue. He's been outstanding this afternoon. He'll concede towards defensive 50 to Croxford. And Croxford will look to open the outer side up. Sends a kick out that way now, looking for Henderson. It's a high ball, back with the flight, Crosby. In fact, I should say Ricky Reid, and couldn't get his hands on it, and Henderson took the mark. Reinvented himself as a defender. Billy Henderson won a best on ground medal for kicking 6 in a grand final. Goes short with a kick to Mensch. Mensch, almost off the toe, went looking for Diamond, and Diamond will get a free kick. It was being held onto there by O'Dowd. Kick inside, forward 50. Where's Anderson? Good use of the body by Delaney, but couldn't complete the mark. Over the top of Anderson, Hughes, and then taking the tackle is Reeve Page, and that ball's not coming out. We'll get a ball up in the right forward pocket. 10 1/4 minutes played on the Bowen Foods time clock. Bowen Foods selling the freshest fish direct to you. Donga Road in North Geelong. Bill and the team. Tap down Pickett near the boundary line, and that will actually go out of bounds for a boundary throw-in from that ball up. 45 playing 34. Hope you're enjoying the call through krockfootball.live. Tom King and Heath Jamison bringing you the action. Jamo here thanks to the Sporting Globe. Eat, drink, sport. Rory Street, Geelong. Double palm down Pickett, front of the pack O'Dowd, a clearing kick that was touched off the boot. Tamassi under pressure, had it knocked away by Watson. Good pick up by Henderson, although just a little bit slow to release the handball. Grace, good handball. Chance now for the Tigers. Sheldon Ham outside of the right boot after receiving the handball from Harry McLeod. Has missed to the left. Just couldn't get the breeze to work it back. Through for a minor score. Margin is 12.
Interesting with the ruckman not going into that ball in, just 15 out from goals, and Anderson having to do it against Pickett. I'd be sending the big fella in, definitely going that way to see if he can have any impact in the ruck there and get it down to the on ballers.
46 plays 34 as Jenkins, a floater towards right half back. It lands at the feet of the pack and bounces okay for Mifsud, but he's wrapped up in a really good Sherwin tackle, and he wins a free kick. That was a good, strong tackle by Flynn Sherwin, who's got it at right half back. Following in the footsteps of his dad, Darren, premiership player at the Hawks back in 85. Kick to the wing, dropping the mark, dropping what he should have taken there was Loftus. Rare mistake, but it's picked up and he's helped out by Diamond. A high right foot kick back with the flight. Jenkins went over his head, and that of also Anderson. Delaney, last man back there for the Drysdale. Turns and kicks on his right, and it's just a neat little kick onto the chest of Crosby. Crosby's short little kick is okay, and Sherwin has got it. He'll go across the face of goal. In fact, that was Reid who went looking for Crosby now, and just a little bit too much on the kick, and that breeze just playing a little bit of havoc with the skills at times this afternoon.
Yeah, you got to hit those though, Kingy. That's two players just sitting there waiting for the switch of the ball, and it's carried a little too far.
46 playing 34. Torquay by 12 points. Ball back into play. Tapped down by Pickett, front of the pack. Sherwin a handball on the bounce. Well done, Randoni. Released back to Egan. Egan from inside his defensive 50, a high floater. It'll flirt with the boundary line. Henderson will fly. It's off his hands, and Watson, and out of bounds, Waylon Doyle, making sure that the Tigers get a stoppage. Right below our best seats in the house, thanks to APCO service stations. Every APCO service station open 24/7 this Easter. Ball back into play. Tapped down by Pickett, but straight into the path of Grace, although he's buffeted off it by O'Dowd. Just as he thought he was away, Grace, he tried to shovel it out of the pack, couldn't get it out. Is that Mensch on the bottom of the pack? We'll get a ball up.
Nacho in the hat today, King. We don't see that very often.
Umpire Ganaccia. Very experienced trio running this one with Chaston Ganaccia and Chris Jones. And it's going to be a free kick for a hold in the ruck contest. An advantage is paid. Free kick went to Piggott. It's taken by Egan, who kicks on his non-preferred right, and the kick is swallowed up. Well played there by Doyle in a one-on-one over the least experienced Henderson. Short kick by Doyle, hand on it. Bruce knocked it to ground for Drysdale, but Tamassi cleaned up. Doyle got a kick quickly, dumped in a tackle by Henderson. He was a little bit high and maybe a little bit late. The mark was taken anyway by Luke Marnie, so quickly plays on, drives it, but has pushed it to the right-hand side and through for a minor score, and the margin is 13. So the goals have just dried up. There's a bit going on. Maguire fighting his own little private war with Lucas Anderson about 40 metres out from goal. From the kick-in, Drysdale have got it outside defensive 50, and it's out of bounds now. Knocked out Delaney and Priest are there. We'll get a boundary throw-in. Not sure what was going on there between Maguire and Anderson.
I reckon Anderson's got a pretty good tongue on him, or I may know he has a pretty good tongue on him, so may have said something on the way past, and Mitchie Maguire mightn't have liked it.
I think they would have played against each other when I think Maguire was at 2018 at Leopold.
Yep.
Happy to be corrected. And there's going to be a free kick or out of bounds, boundary throw-in at left half forward after a tackle laid on Loftus. So just the one goal apiece in this second term as the game has settled into a bit of a rhythm after a frenetic opening period of play. Nearly 15 minutes played on the Bowen Foods time clock. Piggott and Anderson, Tamassi I should say, ball over the heads of both. Ground level, a quick handball release to Grace was okay. Tried to get it back to a teammate, doing okay and sending the kick forward towards goal. Will it have the flight carry? It will. That's a good finish. That was Ham. He's having a good afternoon, Sheldon Ham. No Charlie this afternoon, but Sheldon well and truly making sure he's influencing the contest, and the margin is 19. 53 plays 34 on the second quarter. K-Rock Morris Business Class Finance scoreboard. It's asset lending the way it should be. Call 1300 for Morris to upgrade to Business Class Finance.
Yeah, they've just got a lot of midfielders with a lot of class, and Ham's another one of those, and got the ball from 55 there and kicked the goal. So yeah, they're just dangerous midfield. Torquay, and Bogue's had plenty of it. Mensch is getting into the game. Ham. Yeah, they're all having a good afternoon.
Back in the middle, Bogue on hands and knees gets it up to Ham, and Ham will bring a kick towards right half forward, and that will bounce just inside the field of play and roll out for a boundary throw-in. 8-5 plays 5-4. KRockFootball.live and the AFL Bowen live stream. Hope you're enjoying the call wherever you're listening to Bellarine round one action. Ball back into play. From behind, McCoy won the tap down. Roving at the front of the pack, Mifsud. Henderson, his handball receiver, Bogue, or rather I should say, dropped it. Now a quick kick forward by Mensch. Bogue trying to shrug the tackle of O'Dowd. Diamond tried to shrug the tackle of O'Dowd. Got a kick on the bounce. Fisted away by Luke Priest, but only into the path of Ireland, who then Priest takes over the boundary line, and a free kick for a hold has been paid, and I don't think they like that, the Torquay boys, and Lucas Anderson really wants to remonstrate. So does Mifsud with Luke Priest. And now a bit of push and shove, but when this is all said and done, Jacob Ireland will pick up the footy and have a shot at goal from very tight in the left forward pocket. Instead, he decides to concede some ground, and Mensch has marked 49 from goal on a less acute angle. Quickly wants to go on with it. Runs to 48, pulls the trigger on the kick, and in going for distance has... is that off hands? Yeah, I reckon it was touched by Henderson before going into the right hand behind post, and will be a boundary throw-in. So not a bad result in the end for the Tigers.
I think the Tigers would be happy with that. I think it was either going through for a point or it was going to hit the post for on the full.
High boundary throw-in, hangs in the breeze. Henderson and Tamassi. Tamassi does the roving, and then a quick snap, and he's missed to the right, but he has got a free kick for too high, and will have a shot at goal and a chance to push this margin out beyond 4 goals.
I mentioned early in the quarter that Anderson was just getting pushed out of the way in that ruck comp, and Tamassi's been the backup ruckman. He's gone in. He might be spending some time forward here, but just a little bit more of a contest. It's such an important boundary throw-in for your team. It's 15 metres out from your goal. You want a good ruck representation there.
Heath Jamieson in the experts chair for the Sporting Globe. Eat, drink, sport, Ryrie Street, Geelong. Tamassi, with the man on the mark, 25 from goal, has made no mistake, and they lead by 25. So just put some breathing room between themselves and the Hawks, the Tigers. They move to 8-5-53. Drysdale, a 5-4-34. Second quarter action thanks to Morris Business Class Finance. Asset lending the way it should be. Call 1300-4-MORRIS to upgrade to Business Class Finance.
Game's getting in that dangerous position now where you don't want a side like Torquay to maybe get the next one, Kingy. You know, they're probably not going to be a side that's going to allow you to get 5 goals back into the game. So if they get to a 5-goal lead here now, this could be very hard for Drysdale to get back into the game.
Missing some key talent too this afternoon. Flynn Chisholm and actually Cam Delaney be really handy right now. Tapped down one by Henderson, but Torquay going to come up with it either handball, missed mensch. He'll pick up the loose footy though. Handball into space, bouncing ball. Chance to go forward. They will. Long ball, Grace it is, but he's pushed it to the right and through for a minor score. In fact, Sheldon Ham, I should say, who's been really good this afternoon. Kicking duties with O'Dowd. Trots off into the right back pocket and then drives a floater, and it's a poor kick, although the mark dropped. Ham, though, did well to recover the loose footy. Good tackle, Shergood. A couple of former Falcons products got a handball away in the end. He got given plenty of leniency. Reid, high kick, O'Dowd again outside defensive 50 and over the top. Hurd's going to claim the mark, is he? No, umpire. Oh, a bit going on there between FNL and Hurd, and now over the top getting involved is McNamara. There's a couple of likely types. McNamara and FNL haven't stepped away from a contest in their time in footy. And it was a good call by the umpire, I think, because I think there was 2 sets of hands on it. Ball up at left half forward. McCoy from behind, Mensch the roving, quick snapper over his right shoulder, a high ball into the left forward pocket. Tamassi down low, diving, couldn't hang on to it. In fact, it was out on the full before he got his hands on it, and the free kick will go to Crosby. For Drysdale, short kick to Egan. Egan gives it back to Crosby. Got a chance to run and send a long ball to the middle of McCartney Oval. McNamara got worked under the footy. It was okay by Clark, just tried to force a spillage, got a handball out wide for Sykes, and Sykes was held without it. And a free kick was well played by Clark, just against the much taller McNamara. Sykes, inside 50 goes, target is Bruce, 2 over the top of Henderson is marked.
Some really good play from down back there. You know, they've been up against it for the last 10, 15 minutes, and he just took the game on. Kicked the ball in the middle of the ground, might have been a bit chaotic, win the ball, get the ball forward. Sometimes you just need to do something different to get the ball going your way, and they've been banging the ball out to the scoreboard side, hasn't been working for them, so took a risk up the middle and now having a shot at goal.
James Bruce, I should say, 43 goals last year. Second leading goal kicker behind Ruggles. Started at left. Gee, I tell you what, he's somehow managed to... Well, he got the breeze working for him there a little bit, I reckon. Maybe the breeze is just slightly pushing across the ground now from the eastern side. And he has kicked a nice goal. That's a real contender for goal of the afternoon from James Bruce, and the margin back to 20 points and just stops a run of a couple of goals that had pushed that margin out towards the 5-goal margin. Second quarter, Morris Business Class Finance scoreboard. It's asset lending the way it should be. Call 1300-4-MORRIS to upgrade to Business Class Finance. 6-4-40 the Hawks. Torquay a 9-6-60.
Just a left footer who knew how he kicked the ball, I think, Kingy. Beautiful set shot for goal and drew it back nicely.
Yes. We get back into the middle of the ground. Chance here for the Hawks. Tainton tracking the footy. Talented youngster using good leg speed too to get away from one and get away from two, and then kick on his left. That's going to flirt with the boundary line. It's going to pitch just on the line, and he'll get a stoppage for his team just forward of the wing on the broadcast side. Not far from our best seats in the house, thanks to APCO service stations. 22 minutes played on the Barwon Foods time clock in this second quarter of action. McCoy winning the tap down. Sykes doing the roving for Drysdale. Jams it on the boot towards left half forward. McNamara not taken in the sun there, protecting his eyes. Would have been Randoni, I reckon. And it's now again out of bounds. So after a bit of an arm wrestle through the opening 10 or so minutes of this second quarter, we've had 3 goals in fairly quick succession. McCoy, Piggott the tap down, he palmed it straight to Loftus, although he was taking a really good tackle by Sykes. Umpire says holding the ball. Tough call?
Maybe. Seen plenty of them paid at this level.
Quickly on with it. Bruce, the target, with one hand knocked it down to the front of the pack. Heard there, Hargraves there. Haven't caught a lot of Jake Hargraves this afternoon, and it's out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. So I should say that Hargraves, Bruce was third in their goal kicking last year, because Hargraves kicked 52, obviously behind Ruggles' fantastic season of 67. It was a great triumvirate up forward for the Hawks. From behind, McCoy won the tap down from defensive 50. Ham will clear, sends it long to a one-on-one. Tamassi and Jenkins. Jenkins, judging the flight of the ball best, worked off the body of Tamassi and took the mark. Laterally he goes with a kick to Crosby. Crosby's got Sykes short, and that's where he goes, and that's out in the full. And that'll open the door here for the Tigers. Cooper Hurd quickly wants the footy back and get moving, knowing we're late in this second term, approaching 24 minutes played. Barwon Foods time clock. Hurd sends it long inside forward, 50. Mark dropped for Drysdale. Ground level, Tamassi tried to tap it into the path of Hurley. Head over it, Jenkins, brought to ground by Tamassi, and we'll get a stoppage about 30 metres from the Torquay goal. And now a bit more push and shove, and a high free kick, and it's going to go against Maguire to Tamassi, and Ben Carmichael, the coach of Drysdale, won't be impressed with his skipper giving an easy one away like that. It's just a cheapie, isn't it, Jamo?
Yeah, it is. I think Mitch Maguire's trying to just lift his team a little bit. He's been very physical with Bogue at the stoppages, just trying to get them back into the game, and I don't know whether there was too much there. And
just don't give the umpire a chance to
yeah,
make a
you
decision.
probably don't. You probably don't.
Tamassi's already kicked one in this opening term. Chance for his second from 35 metres out has missed to the right-hand side through for a minor score.
All is forgotten now.
Margin is 21. 25 minutes played on the Barwon Foods time clock. And around the grounds for Leopold Sporties. It is half-time between Barwon Heads and Anglesey at Howard Harmer Oval. And it's Anglesey have blown Barwon Heads away to lead by 36 points at half-time. Some new faces there as the ball on the outer side is underneath the pack, and we'll get a stoppage and a ball up. Almost, well, just forward to the wing, favouring Torquay. Ball in the air. Tapped down by Piggott. FNL there. Here's Maguire. Hasn't won a lot of the footy lately, and there he just can't get an effective disposal, and it's out of bounds for a boundary throw. Dom Gleeson shows clean hands over there.
Always had clean hands, Dom.
Quickly played on. There must have been a free kick maybe for out in the full. To the top of the square. Free kick for a hold, and it's going to go to the Tigers, and Bogue in a one-on-one against Jenkins. And that's where Bogue is going to be so dangerous for opposition teams this year, that he's so strong in the upper body, Jamo.
Yeah, he is. He hasn't spent much time forward today. That's probably the first time they've sent him up there. He's been very good in the midfield. But, yeah, he is. He's a smart player. He knows what to do, and he's done it at a higher level. He's definitely going to do it at this level.
He kicked 39 goals from 14 games before going to the Falcons and Werribee and Newtown, and he's kicked his first on his return back to Torquay. Welcome home, Matty Bogue, and he's pushed his team margin out to 27 points in this second term thanks to Morris Business Class Finance. It's Torquay now 10-7-67. They lead Drysdale 6-4-40, and we've ticked over 26 3/4 minutes on the Barwon Foods time clock.
It's just the options that Dom's got at his disposal there. You know, like Bogey can go and put the feet up in a forward pocket. You're not going to lose too much in the midfield, if anything at all. You know, Mensch and Loftus and Sheldon Ham. They've got Hughes can go through there as well. It's just a wealth of options that they have at their disposal. And they all play similar type. You know, they're all quick. They're all good with their hands. So they don't lose anything, no matter who's in there.
Ball into the air. Piggott and McCoy. Piggott winning the knockdown, but a chance here to clear again. And kick came from Paddy Hughes inside 50. Reef Page trying to get his hands on it. Delaney wrapped up in a really good tackle by Anderson. The umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up.
Luke Priest looks like the matchup for Bogue in the goal square.
And Delaney's just gone back to provide a 2-on-1 and a bit of coverage just in front of that matchup. Anderson doing the ruck work, winning the tap down. Quick clearing kick from Maguire. Rolls into the path of Randoni, who shrugged off McNamara. Hawks will go forward, looking down there for Watson, but Hurd did really well down low. Took a good mark. Did Cooper Hurd. and holds things up for the Tigers at centre half back. They'd love to go in with this buffer. He comes laterally to his skipper, and McNamara's got it for Torquay. Comes wide to the veteran Cardi. Tim Cardi today playing game 221 by our count. Laterally to Hurd, and they're back to basically where they started, where Hurd marked early. He wants the middle of the ground, and Mensch, he marks the kick that went about 15. Now he goes very, very wide, and ball on the bounce. Skew whiffed away from Loftus, back into the path of Grace, and a chance to clear here. Jenkins threw it on the left boot for Drysdale. Flying Ruggles, haven't seen as much of him in the second quarter. At the front of the pack, Watson, a high floating ball for Drysdale. Hargraves will come at McNamara. It's a free kick, and a silly free kick too. McNamara positioned himself under the footy. Hargraves straight into the back. And it'll be a free kick to the former St Joseph star, Torquay Junior.
Just watch Hurd the last few times he's kicked it. I don't know what foot he kicks with King. He's left, right, left, right. He kicked it in from full back before on his left. And
great kick from McNamara. We know what foot Mensch kicks on. He's a left footer, and that's what he'll go on now and go back to McNamara at the top of his defensive goal square with a kick that went 35 metres. McNamara wants the corridor and finds Hurley, who started well. Nobody stands the mark. Randoni just sags off him for the moment, so it gives him a little bit more space, and he'll come to the middle. It's a well-weighted kick to Hughes. Well, this open play up here for the Tigers. Hughes called to play on, tries to run away from Egan, got a handball away. Quick kick forward towards right half forward was Hurley. Looking down here for Croxford, did okay, or rather I should say Diamond. Delaney did okay, and there's going to be a free kick for a push in the back to Tim Delaney. And he's got it at left half back. Short kick as we've gone nearly 30 minutes on the Barham Foods time clock. 27-point lead for the Tigers. Kick to the middle from Bruce. Dropped by Reed. Time to recover. And now a kick very, very wide. And it's a well-weighted ball. And the mark taken out there for the Hawks. Swinging onto his left boot. Sherwin sending it inside forward 50. Hargraves flew, but Doyle was able to hang on to the mark. And Hargraves might have hurt himself. Just slow to get up. That would be a blow injury-wise for St John of God for the Hawks. Keep an eye on him, Jamo. Doyle short to his skipper McNamara, and then McNamara wide. Here's Croxford marking at left half back.
I think he's fine, just a bit winded.
Swinging into his right boot, went looking for Grace, hand knocking it away Jenkins, who then went back and got the loose footy, but then ran into a Grace and Mensch tackle, and we'll get a ball up. Argent 27, time well beyond the 30-minute mark this second term. Tap down Tamassi. It's going to be a free kick for a hold. And which way is it? Going to Torquay, and it's going, no, umpire pointed the wrong way. It's going to go to Bruce, who's got it at left half back. Went to give a handball off to FNL, just held it back, and probably a smart move too. Bruce got miffs it in the air, had a bounce, and then a kick that had a little bit too much on it for FNL, and Henderson just says, I'll just hold play up, knowing we're well in to the final stages of this second quarter. Well-weighted ball, the mark taken by Loftus, who's had a really impressive first half. He comes inboard, Tamassi, what's he got inside forward? 50, Reef Page dropped what he should have taken going down low. That might be a free kick for below the knees, not paid against Page, or for Page, against Jai Hawkins. And the umpire says, I'll ball it up at the top of the 50.
Is that open, wide open in the middle for Torquay then? Got to be careful with that.
Tamassi won the tap down, went through the hands of Ireland. Randoni for Drysdale. Hawkins, Crosby now clearing kick, a high ball to the wing. Henderson, he won't get to it, and back with the fight. Cardi, judging at best, has taken the mark. The veteran, all his experience, short. Hurd, let's see what he kicks with here, Jamo. He's sent a kick with his left, I reckon. Holding it, no, he's going with his right. Well, he goes short and onto the chest of Ireland, who cuts back into the middle. Kicked too much on it. Well, I had too much on it for Bogue, but not too much on it for Harry McLeod, who'll have a shot on his first of the afternoon, and to push the margin beyond 5 goals. And surely we can't be too far away from half-time. This quarter now has ticked over on the Barham Foods time clock. Yeah, that is the siren. We've gone 32 3/4 minutes, and McLeod is going to send Torquay to the halftime break with a 33-point lead. Second quarter, Morris Business Class Finance scoreboard. It's Torquay 11,773, Drysdale 6,440. Morris Business Class Finance. It's asset lending the way it should be. Call 1300 for Morris to upgrade to Business Class Finance. So a nice finish there for the Tigers, who in the end really dominated that second term, kicking 5 goals 5 to 2 goals 1. And if not for some inaccuracy, Jamo could have been further ahead.
Yeah, I think Drysdale did pretty well at the back end of that quarter just to sort of stem it a little bit, I think.
all your favourite fish, chosen by all the best restaurants in town. Barwon Foods also sells direct to you at wholesale prices. Great savings, great seafood since 1978. That's Barwon Foods. See the retail shop and get fresh fast. Donga Road, North Geelong.
barwonfoods.com.
Okay, kids, Grandpa Bruce has got a little adventure planned for us today. It's going to be so much fun.
Oh, what is it, Grandpa? Are we going to the beach?
Oh, it's better than the beach.
What about the playground? Yeah!
Oh, it's even better than that. Girls, you're in for a real treat. Come on, buckle up. We're off to Kerr's Hire.
Oh, not again.
Now, who's your favourite granddad?
Kerr's Hire, North Geelong, Drovedale and Ocean Grove. kerrshire.com.au.
On-road, off-road. Check out Geelong 4-Wheel Drive and Camping, the home of Ironman 4x4. The showroom is huge and the staff just love 4-wheel drives. Whether you need a bull bar, winch, suspension, tyres, a UHF radio or just a map, they can help. They're your local agent for ECB bars, HSP roll tops, Ute Master, Bushman fridges, MSA, EGR, GME and many more. Geelong 4-Wheel Drive and Camping, Melbourne Road, North Geelong, next to Supercheap.
Hamlin Homes, with over 40 years of commitment building homes throughout Geelong and the Surf Coast. Hamlin Homes is family operated, born, raised and living in Geelong and committed to thriving into the future. Committed to building quality, sustainable homes. Committed to supporting you throughout your building journey. Hamlin Homes, built on a commitment to local trades, using premium quality materials, including a roof made from Colorbond steel. Hamlin.com.au, CDB-U 52938.
Thanks to our #1 ticket holders, ABCO. Fueled by ABCO Cafe 24/7.
Half-time nearly at its conclusion here at McCartney Oval. Torquay 11-7-73. Drysdale 6-4-40. Margin 33 points in front of a very healthy crowd to open Bellarine season 2024. The reigning premiers in control after a dominant second quarter where they kicked 5 goals to 2 after a 6-4 opening quarter. So it looks like Henderson will go forward, Jamo. He probably spent more than Piggott forward in that first half, but he will start forward. Egan looks like he's gone forward as well after spending some time in the midfield. But I just need to just got to generate enough inside 50 ball to generate a score.
Yeah, they do. They'll be hoping their midfield gets on top here. Mitchie Maguire get his hand on the ball, pump the ball long inside 50. And hope that Ruggles can do what he did early in the first quarter.
Well, that's one they'll be looking for is Maguire, just to get his hands on the footy.
Yeah, first hands at the stoppage really important. So they'll be hoping their ruckman can get it down to them.
So we're in position. Crowd is off the ground, and umpire Chaston holds the ball aloft for this third quarter of action, thanks to Barwon Timber. And we are underway. Piggott and McCoy, as they have done for a lot of the afternoon. Mensch was there, but Piggott got hands on it, gave it to FNL, jammed it on his left boot towards half forward. Fisted away from Clark for Torquay. Mensch driven into the ground. Maguire, handball to FNL. Go towards 50, but that's a kick that doesn't favour Egan, and McNamara for Torquay judges it best with taking it on his chest. He goes short with a kick to Hurley. Hurley just inside defensive 50. Called to play on, and then short and onto the chest of Sheldon Ham, who had a very dominant first half. Went to share the handball, and then giving it over to Hurley, just held it back a little bit too long. Hurley overshot the mark, and it's out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
Be a bit disappointed with that, Drysy. Fennell got the ball, pumped it inside 50, and Egan just caught ball watching. McNamara in the right position, took the mark.
Keith Jamison in the experts chair for the Sporting Globe from the boundary throw. And here's Maguire again trying to impose himself on the contest. Bruce, that's almost a throw. I think it is. Even my binoculars from the other side of the ground could pick up that was incorrect disposal from James Bruce. And the free kick will go to the Tigers. Max Hurley sending a kick now towards half forward. A couple of Drysdale players collide, including Fennell and Jenkins. Jenkins will come up with a loose footy. Fennell on the ground, keep an eye on him. Jamo for St John of God might bounce to his feet now. Mensch, a handball back to the voice of Henderson, took it on the bounce and then barrelled it forward. Inside 50, Diamond knocked it to his own advantage, tried to get out of the tackle. A Priest was taken high. That was Luke Priest just going over the shoulder on Tom Diamond. Kicked one in the opening term and a chance to kick his second, and this is not what Drysdale want. They don't want to concede the opening goal if they want to get back into this contest. 39 points, potentially a bridge too far. Tom Diamond will kick from just on 45, sends it on its way. Geez, he got every piece of that. That's a nice finish, and the margin is 39 points. First blood belongs to Torquay in this third term. 2 minutes played, and Torquay go to 12-7-79. They lead Drysdale 6-4-40, thanks to Bowen Timber, your specialists in the supply and installation of timber and engineered flooring in the Geelong region.
Well, some people will say they're not getting the rub of the green with the umpires, but it's probably enough evidence now, Kingy, to say they're getting a couple of their tackles wrong. You know, they've gone high on numerous occasions. You know, the free kick count is in Torquay's favour, but there's a reason. They've just been a bit sloppy with their tackles, Drysdale, and that'll be Killumbinga Carmichael.
Ball into the air. Piggott and McCoy favoured by the ball up, won the tap down, and then knocked it forward again. Mensch will put his head over it, pick up the footy cleanly, and then reef a handball out towards the near side wing to Ireland. Ireland back to Bogue. Bogue, a neat little left foot kick, and it's okay for Mifsud, who marks just forward of the wing. Lowers his eyes and finds the leading Reef Page. He's a good size, Reef Page. When he fills out, he's really going to be hard to handle. Kick inside 50, Anderson! Oh, and then cops one as he came down from taking the mark. It was accidental, but he's hung onto a nice Hamlin hanger contender. Hamlin, distinctively local. Good grab from Lucas Anderson, who will have a shot at goal from probably just on 50, but not beyond him, Jamo. You know him better than anybody in his set shot kicking for goal.
It's very much the strength of his game. You don't want him getting it too often because, yeah, this is what he does best, and there'll be a fair celebration if he kicks it.
From 48 metres out, he's pulled that to the left in going for distance and put it through for a minor score.
That was always going to happen.
Margin is 40. 12-8-80, play 6-4-40. Kick in comes from O'Dowd to half back, and Doyle just removed Henderson and marked on the chest. Quick handball up to Sheldon Ham. Kick back inside forward 50 for Torquay, who are really dominating the contest now. That's a good mark. Piggott, or should I say Maguire, stood tall, took the mark. And now they'll run from inside defensive 50. The kick of O'Dowd, not great off the boot. Bogue, though, couldn't make the most of it for Torquay. Bruce knocked it forward. Hurd got in the way, the other number 6 for Torquay. And he's wrapped up, and we'll get a ball up near the edge of the centre square.
Yeah, the kick by O'Dowd wasn't great, but the run and carry is, and they need more of it. So he's just got to keep doing it, take a risk, get on the move, get the ball moving.
Ball into the air. McCoy. And Piggott again, it's allowed to hit the ground, so then Piggott has another go at it. Chance here for Mensch, bounced straight away as he took possession through the middle of McCartney Oval. Kick towards half forward, Anderson, good spoil from behind Delaney. Well played, Priest, handball into no man's land. Anderson had hung on to Delaney. Flynn Shergwin came up to help out and then sort of spun himself off his feet almost. Did okay to compose himself. He'll come again. Handball though, turned it over to McCoy. It's got a bit scrappy for the moment. Ireland tried to get it up to Mifsud. Anderson put the block on Luke Priest. Bogue, Mifsud. Wow, wonderful by Priest. Great fighting effort from Luke Priest. He was kept out of the contest initially, but fought his way back, and Mifsud just clutching at he was clutching at a left hamstring there for the moment, but appears to be okay, although he's had another feel for it. I think he's okay for St John of God, but Priest deserved free kick, but he's let himself down with the kick, and McNamara, judging at best off the boot, has marked for Torquay. He'll go short to Mensch, who's now starting to rack them up and just work into the contest. Big Summer playing for the Buffaloes in the NTFL. Kick inside forward 50. Egan did well. Quick handball at close quarters. Clearing kick Jenkins, but he's put that straight onto the chest of Bogue. Bogue, a kick now inboard. Hughes wide. Miff said no. Reef Page marks. Both got the blue boots on in the same area. And it'll be Reef Page, who's had a bit of an impact this afternoon, Jamo.
Yeah, he has. He moves well. He leads up at the footy, creates the space behind him for Anderson to lead into. He's a good foil up there for him. Come through the Falcon system, I believe, so has obviously got plenty of talent.
Just his 5th senior game. Played 3 games last year for 6 goals, Reef Page. And looking to kick his first of the afternoon and really put this game to bed, you would think, early in this third term. He's hung that out far to the right, and it's gone about out of bounds on the full. 6.5 minutes played on the third quarter. K-Rock Bowen Foods scoreboard, of time clock I should say, sells the freshest fish direct to you. That's Bowen Foods, Donga Road in North Geelong. Torquay by 40 thanks to Bowen Timber. Long ball to half-back. Watson flew for the Hawks but couldn't mark. Hurd was clean off the pack. Handball back to Henderson. Henderson, a neat little kick around the corner, although Egan and FNL made life tough for the Tigers. It's going to come back to Egan, who's taken a tackle by Ham. McLeod got involved, later tackle for Torquay. Ensured that the progress of Jack Priest was halted.
Hurd, McNamara and Henderson, a real issue across half-back for Torquay, just mopping up everything.
Early, taken in a really good tackle by Egan, and he won himself a free kick, did Nick Egan. Just back of the wing. They need to generate something here, Drysdale, or this game will quickly slip away from him. He tries to take on the man on the mark, over handball to FNL under pressure. He then under pressure got a handball, try to get it back towards Egan, and they're going to turn this one over here, the Hawks. Although coming the other way, the Hawks were able to hold things up, although now a neat little left foot kick inside forward 50 for the Tigers. Reef Page the target. Luke Priest the spoil, only into the path of Bogue. Sherwin couldn't stick the tackle. Handball release. Anderson a kick around the corner. Mifsud waiting for it on the bounce. Shrugged the tackle. Handball. Bogue. Tight angle. Bogue missed to the near side. Through for a minor score. Margin is 41. 12-9-81. Drysdale 6-4-40 on the Bowen Timber K-Rock scoreboard. Bowen Timber, your specialists in the supply and installation of timber and engineered flooring in the Geelong region. Short kick finds Egan after the kick in from Jenkins. And they go wide. Jack Priest, a floater off his right boot. Hughes showed good strength against Randoni, freed the arms, handball, and then Ham's delivery was precise onto the chest of Bogue. Bogue thinking about the pass with the man standing the mark about 40 from goal. Now beckoning Anderson to come at him. He sends it in that direction. Good spoil, Delaney. Front of the pack, Reef Page. Taking in a two-man tackle. Ball spills out. Tim Delaney came again. Anderson came at him to bring him to ground. We'll get a ball up. You would have to say, for the way the contest has gone for Torquay, for Delaney to have kept Anderson to 2 goals is actually a really impressive effort.
Yeah, I think he's been good in his one-on-ones, and I think it's annoying Anderson at the moment. So he's trying to get himself into the game, but he's been good. Anderson
to do the ruck work, although he didn't get to the contest. Piggott a double fister into the path of Egan, who tries to work off Bogue, former teammates at Newtown. Chance now for Loftus. Loftus's little kick was partially smothered. Priest left it behind. A little soccer off the ground. Might have been Jenkins. And now they'll clear Sherwin's handball. A little bit too much on it for FNL, and it's out of bounds. As Drysdale try to just generate some run off half back and get something moving. Margin at 41 points. 9 3/4 minutes almost played in this third term. Piggott double palm down to the front. Loftus couldn't take it, and then he did take it. Negan absolutely dumped him. There's a Tiger down in back play. Keep an eye on that. Who's that getting to their feet? It might be Grace, it is. A bit slow to his feet, but for St John of God, he's okay. In fact, it's Sheldon Ham. Double palm down Piggott. Egan had a handball, went back to him. And it'll be a free kick for too high. I reckon Sherwin got collected front on there by Marnie. And young Sherwin with it. Kick to the wings, not a great one. Hurd flew with the one hand over FNL, couldn't complete the mark, but Henderson was able to tidy up for the Tigers. A high floating ball that Sherwin will get another opportunity to try and repel. They just can't get the ball forward to the centre at the moment, Jamo.
Torquay defending really well.
Bruce went to claim the mark. It was a half volley, but then he got taken high in the tackle. That might be Marnie again, giving away another tackle. Tries to argue that Bruce dropped the shoulder. Kick on the bounce. So Dowd, Jenkins, middle of McCartney over. Now they'll go inside forward 50. Hargraves has got off the chain and marked. So rare space for Jake Hargraves in a match-up against Tim Carty for Wombat Gully Plant Farm. And he just slipped the veteran Tiger for the moment, Jake Hargraves, and a chance to kick his first of the afternoon. Kicked 4 in the grand final last year and was looming as being the hero for Drysdale as they led at 3/4 time. needs to stand up here from 35 metres out. Just got under it slightly, but has hit it pretty well, and they pull the margin back to 35 points. Third quarter, K-Rock, Bowen Timber scoreboard. Bowen Timber, your specialist in the supply and installation of timber and engineered flooring in the Geelong region. It's Torquay 12-9-81, 7-4-46 Drysdale here at McCartney Oval. KRockFootball.live in the AFL Bowen live stream.
Yeah, just got the ball back through the middle of the ground. It hadn't opened up for them, but it did then. They got some overlap run from down back and come through the middle of the ground. Forwards get a nice uncontested footy through the middle of the ground on the lead and takes the mark, kicks a goal. It seems easy, but if you can do it, that's how you score heavily. So they'll be hoping for some more.
Piggott climbed high in the ruck against Tamassi, but they can't clear the area. Drysdale, Maguire had a couple of goes out. Now they'll go inside 50. Egan off the outside of his right boot. Bouncing ball went over the head of Henderson. Well played Doyle. Knocked it to the advantage of Hurley. Hurley will burst away. Neat little right foot kick. Found Grace. Grace will go wide with a kick. Wanted Tamassi, and he did well to take the mark with Sykes coming the other way. Sykes could have put him into next week. Tamassi. Kick might have been partially smothered. No, Egan's been paid the mark for Drysdale. Getting back with the flight, did well. Coming into the game, loops a handball over the top. Watson got involved, gave a handball to Sykes. Sykes a high ball. Henderson, where's Ruggles 4 deep? Provided a spoiler, McNamara. No, too late. McNamara paid the mark. And 35 from his defensive goal. Ben McNamara will pick himself up and dust himself off. He'll be one of the tougher players you've coached over your journey, Ben McNamara.
Stands in the hole all the time, doesn't he? Ruggs hasn't given the ball back here, and
a 50-metre penalty.
On the march.
Yeah, umpire Chris Jones says in game 500 you can come 50.
Might be hurt here, McNamara, though. He's going from the ground.
But St John of God will keep an eye on that. The skipper of the Tigers, second-year captain. Yeah, I think he'll share the role with James Dark when Dark returns mid-season. Hurd will take the resultant free kick, or 50-metre penalty with McNamara going off the ground. The kick inside forward 50 wasn't great from Tamassi, judged well by Luke Priest, who's actually stood up really well down back for the Hawks this afternoon. He goes short to Tainton, who marks at left half back, the outer side. And there's another 50-metre penalty. So I don't think we'd seen one for the afternoon, and we've had two in about 40 seconds. And there's nobody standing the mark, so Tainton can keep going. He'll send it inside forward 50 now. Ruggles up, but couldn't hang on. Ball hits the deck, cleaned up by Carty. He's near his own goal line. Oh, a bit too slow, and that'll be holding the ball. Watson was really good.
Great tackle.
Providing the pressure, and he'll have a shot at goal after bringing down the veteran Tiger. Tight angle, though, for Watson. He'll have to go, you would suspect, either with the non-preferred left on the J-curve or the banana on the right. It's not as bad an angle as some would expect, and he actually does it quite well. Watson kicks his second. So for a man who hadn't actually kicked a goal at Bellarine senior level in 21 games coming in, he's jagged himself 2 this afternoon and just kept his team alive for the moment. The margin back to 29 points on the third quarter K-Rock Bowen Timber scoreboard. 12-9-81 Torquay. And with that margin at 29, that'll mean Drysdale are 8-4-52. The scoreboard here just working into the season itself.
I like the contest there by Tommy Ruggles, and I've mentioned it a few times that sometimes that's all you have to do with those smalls. They've got some dangerous smalls up there, but they haven't brought the ball to the ground enough today. But that contest there brings the smalls into the ground. It was a great tackle.
From the ball up, we get another stoppage as Maguire was wrapped up in a tackle. Ball into the air. Piggott winning the tap. Loftus there for Torquay. Head over the footy. Good to see his brother Kane get an opportunity on Essendon's VFL list.
Yeah, he's played some good footy with St Mary's. Covers the ground very well.
Yeah, one of the quicker players in the region. Tapped down Piggott. Roving done there by Maguire for Drysdale, but he couldn't take the footy cleanly, so he's had to go and lay a tackle, and ball again not coming out. And this is getting into umpire looking for a free kick territory to clear the area. Umpire Ganaccia once again putting it up for the two ruckmen. Piggott winning the tap. Bruce freed the hands. Maguire tried to jam it on the boot. Went about 3 metres. Tainton was really good in traffic. Handball out into space. FNL, though, overran it. Picked up by Ireland, who shares it with Marnie. Marnie next to the boundary line on the outer side for Torquay. Inside 50 he goes. Off the hands of the pack. Priest had it knocked away. Mifsud ready to pounce. Outside of the right boot. A floater. Delaney, good spoil. Knocked it away from Anderson. Front of the pack. Priest again for Drysdale, but his bobbling ball will land about 45 from goal. Be taken by Bogue, and Bogue goes bang and kicks a goal. 2 for Matty Bogue. And just as Drysdale were getting some momentum in this contest, the margin is back out to 34 points. We'll actually make it 35. 12-9-81 on the third quarter. K-Rock Barwon Timber scoreboard. Drysdale are 8-4-52.
Just skill execution there, just missed by foot. And yeah, when Bogue gets the ball anywhere near goal, running into it openly, usually kicks them. So they'll be disappointed with that. They had the run there, Drysdale. They've got on top in the midfield a little bit. Got their first hands at stoppage have improved. They'd be disappointed with that goal there against the flow.
From the ball up, here's Bogue again, giving a handball off to Loftus, who's been really good this afternoon. Running off half back was Ireland. He received and then kicked, but kicked too wide and put it out of bounds on the full. And a free kick will be taken for Drysdale. Now the run comes from half back. And a long ball from Jenkins, a high spinning ball. Watson back with the flight drop, what he should have taken. Second time he's had an opportunity to take one within goal scoring distance, and Torquay will look to clear. Grace under pressure from Hargraves was able to soccer it forward into the path of Marnie at ground level. He was taken high, surely. Umpire didn't see it that way at the edge of the centre square, and we'll get a ball up. Almost 18 minutes played on the third quarter time clock, thanks to Barwon Foods, selling the freshest fish direct to you, Donga Road in North Geelong. Ball into the air from behind Henderson, maybe. Maguire, that kick went actually backwards, and it's been taken very cleanly there by Diamond, who gave it to Henderson, who's been really good this afternoon for the Tigers. We're looking out there for McLeod, knocked down by Jack Priest of Drysdale, but the Tigers have got numbers, including Diamond again. Handball on the bounce. McLeod, a fumble. Luke Priest to shut him down. Did okay, though. Got a handball back on the bounce to Sheldon Ham. Ham, a kick around the corner. Well judged off the boot, though. And the mark taken there by Jai Hawkins. Hawkins will send it to half-back. Maguire, his target against Bogue. A good one-on-one matchup. Bogue couldn't complete the mark. Front of the pack. Here's Diamond, lively as always, but that kick is skew-whiff. Out of bounds on the full. It floats in the right forward pocket at the southern or beach end of the ground. A good crowd in front of the can booth at the northern end of the ground. The club's hosting on these long weekends, making the most of big crowds.
No comment for the club's hosting on these long weekends.
Sure, we'll be back at the Cooter Bowl next year. Although Easter a little bit later next year.
We may get a delayed start.
Short kick of Jenkins, marked by Egan. Left back pocket, driving ball, and FNL stretching and marking and quickly wanting to move the footy, and he goes to the middle of the ground. Kick just reeled in nicely there by O'Dowd. He's kick inside 50, not great. Asked a lot of Bruce at his bootlaces. Tigers have got numbers, including Doyle, but they're going to come up with it here. Drysdale, Bruce did well. A shimmy away from Cardi, a left foot snap, and a bit of class from James Bruce to kick his second. Just was able to arch the back to get away from the veteran Tiger and pulls the margin back to 29 points.
I'd like to see Bruce stay forward just a little bit more. I know he's been good in the midfield and he's a good midfield player too, but he's dangerous up there and they need another foil. If they're to come back into this game, they've got to kick what? You'd probably say 8 more goals for the game. I can't see him kicking 8 more goals for the game without Bruce forward, so I'd be moving him forward permanently and just hoping that FNL, Maguire, these guys through the middle of the ground can get on top.
Heath Jamieson, thanks to the Sporting Globe. Eat, drink, sport, Ryrie Street, Geelong. 87 plays 58 on the third quarter. K-Rock Barwon Timber scoreboard. Barwon Timber, your specialists in the supply and installation of timber and engineered flooring in the Geelong region. Around the grounds for Leopold Sporties. Anglesey 14-8-92. Lead Barwon heads 10-7-67 at three-quarter time at Howard Harmer Oval. Piggott, McCoy Henderson, I should say, this time. And now here's Clark jamming it inside forward 50. Can they find another one here, the Hawks? Although Egan playing behind Hurd, who read it best coming in. Wasn't a great kick in the defence there of Egan. A well-weighted ball finds Mensch right in the middle of McCartney Oval. Drives it now to a one-on-one. Good defensive spoil. Knocking it away towards the wing for the Hawks. Might have been O'Dowd. Ball at ground level. In fact, it was Crosby. Now Grace receiving it from Hughes. And then the little kick is okay for Mensch. Mensch turns onto his left. Anderson, his target. And he hit him lace out. And for one of the rare times today, Anderson has been able to get Delaney away from the footy. A lot of balls come in high. And Delaney's been able to kill the contest one-on-one, but a lot of space for Anderson to work into there, Gemmo.
Yeah, I think Mensch getting the ball by himself just at that 60 out from goal and turning on his left. Anderson reads the ball so well. He was always going to be on the move. The
man they called Chook has pulled that very, very badly to the left and out of bounds on the full. So just the two today for Lucas Anderson. They both came in the opening term. It was looking like a shootout between him and Tom Ruggles. Ruggles had 3 and neither have actually kicked a goal since that point. For the right back pocket, the mark taken by Delaney. We'll send a kick to the wing. Bruce, Henderson there for Drysdale. None can mark, and at the front of the pack a tackle laid. There is a Hawk underneath all that. And getting to his feet is Tom Randoni. His dad Mario was an absolute superstar in the number 28 for the Hawks. Ball into the air. McCoy winning that tap towards the boundary line. Tatum tracking it but running out of room for Drysdale, and another boundary throwing. 1 or 2 goals to be a legitimate chance at three-quarter time. Does one give him a sniff at 4 goals?
Yeah, I think it does. Just momentum going into three-quarter time can always give you a sniff. So, yeah, 1 or 2 just going in. And
Henderson tried to grab it out of the ruck, give it to Bruce, but there's a fumble. And now there's a free kick for a hole just as Sykes was about to burst away. Torquay going to come up with a free kick, and it's going to go to Grace, who's been a solid performer this afternoon. Grace sending it inside forward 50. What's he got? Looking for a marking target, won't find one. Marnie was there for Torquay, but they're going to come up with Drysdale. Bruce, Tainton, just back of the wing. We'll bring it towards our best seats in the house to a one-on-one. Working Croxford off the footy was Ruggles, trying to get it out in front of himself. Just couldn't get the legs pumping enough, and Henderson, along with Croxford, were able to see it out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. So right on the 50 where the boundary and the 50-metre line intersect, we'll get a boundary throw-in. Ball heaved back into play. Henderson front position went to ground. He might get a free kick for a hold there. Now, if Tainton was awake, he could have pounced on that loose footy and been away, but it's going to come back to Big Henderson. Spent a year at East Geelong a couple of years ago. And now that'll be 50.
Going to be 50.
I think that was Max Hurley, who unfortunately has given Ben Henderson a very handy leg up here to the point that he'll kick this from the top of the square, maybe 15 out. And this maybe is a little bit of momentum they need. This is to pull the margin back to 22 points. Henderson makes no mistake. So the smattering of Drysdale fans here happy with that. And the margin is back to 23 points. 13-9-87. Torquay 10-4, 64. Drysdale in this third quarter, thanks to Bowen Timber, your specialists in the supply and installation of timber and engineered flooring in the Geelong region.
Yeah, well, footy's a funny game. Round ones are always funny games too, Kingy. You don't know how much work everyone's done. So, if Drysdale have done more work over the break than Torquay, to get within 3 goals at three-quarter time, they could come over the top of them. So, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
One more would really set us up for a big final turn. Back in the middle, Piggott going in the ruck against Tamassi. Torquay, though, work it out to the outer wing. That should be holding the ball, I reckon. Try to duck under a tackle. And the free kick will go to Egan, who wants to now take off and run away. He does so. Bangs it long into the pocket. Ruggles will come from 4 deep, provided a contest. It's off hands and out of bounds in the left forward pocket at the northern end of the ground.
Just their pressure around the footy's just really lifted, hasn't it? And they're starting to get their hands on it and starting to get the ball quick forward, and they look dangerous again now.
Bigot winning the tap down against Tamassi. Tamassi will actually end up with it. Ball ricocheted back towards him. And now FNL brings him to ground and another stoppage. About 35, make it 40 out from the Drysdale goal. One here to pull it back to 17 points, and we've got a real contest. Hitting it at speed, Bruce from the ruck contest went back to Pickett with a handball. Pickett wasn't expecting it, and so Drysdale nearly turned it over. Hawkins got involved. Sherwin's handball missed Hargraves, went out of bounds, boundary throw in. 26 and a quarter minutes played. We'll have a bit of time on with the 6 goals kicked in this third term. From the boundary throw in, the roving done by Henderson. Bangs it long for Torquay to the outer wing. Good spoil from Egan. Front of the pack, Sherwin trying to get a quick handball release away to a teammate flying past in O'Dowd. And that ball is out of bounds. Although it's a free kick for pushing the back. And I don't think you need to give it away there, Hawkins. Or was it Clark? It might have been Clark, in fact. And Anderson has got it a long way up the ground. He is a long way from home, Lucas Anderson. The GPS is obviously on the fritz. Kick to the wing. Good spoil Delaney, who is his direct opponent this afternoon, but straight into the waiting arms of Ireland, who sends Torquay into attack. Rolling ball, picked up nicely. Hawkins back there, shared it to Jack Priest, whose handball though turned over. Loftus kick around the corner. McLeod kick around the corner. Try to find Grace. Mensch, left foot snap, high ball, floating. Bogue back with the flight. That's missed through to the left in the margin. He's 24. 13-10-88, plays 10-4-64, 27 and a half minutes played on the Bowen Foods third quarter time clock. Bowen Foods sells the freshest fish direct to you, Donga Road, North Geelong. Try their freshly shucked oysters, they are to die for. From out at Bowen Foods. And that's Jenkins shielding his eyes from the sun. For Drysdale, and now driving a long ball. Sykes and Brewster his targets. McNamara, who's back on the ground, which is good for St John of God for Torquay, trying to knock it out of bounds, and now it is out of bounds, and we'll get a boundary throw in.
I reckon Drysdale will be happy just to go in at three-quarter time here. It's just within striking distance. Don't need to force the game too much here. Just be happy to go in 4 goals down and see if you can make that up in the last quarter.
The boundary throw in. Piggott got rid of Tamassi, double-fisted it, but straight to Hughes, jammed it on the boot, miffs it on a half volley. Wonderful pick up and release. Mensch the kick inside 50. Delaney in front of Anderson was able to trap the footy into the path of Crosby. Now Bogue, strength, handball, quick snap. Marnie just couldn't get the bend he wanted, but has pushed it through for a behind. 13-11-89. 10-4-64, margin 25, and Drysdale quickly on with it. A long ball over the head of Bruce, but it's a 2-on-1. Getting down low, though. It was Hughes, did well, knocked it into the path of Loftus, and then was able to just shrug the tackle of Clark and then get a kick inside 50. Great defensive spoil by Jack Priest. Knocked it away from Diamond into the path of Sherwin. A bouncing ball. Bruce tried to palm it on towards Tayton, but just rolled off the wrong part of the fist and out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. That was a wonderful spoil from from Jack Priest, I should say. Got down really low to knock it away from Diamond.
They defend well.
They're from good stock, the Priest boys. Peter was an absolute superstar for a very, very long time for Drysdale. Egan jamming on the boot for Drysdale. Watson front position. It's a 3-on-1 though. He would do well just to have it locked up at the point of the square at left half forward. Does so, and we'll get a ball up.
Not the greatest water boy though, Peter. Once squirted me whilst I was out there on the field in a final, Kingy, that I wasn't too happy about.
Piggott going at it with Tamassi. Piggott, big fist inside 50, but Henderson read it best for Torquay. Roved it, handball into the path of Waylon Doyle, the man they call Big Country. He has lost the footy and it's out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. One of the better nicknames in local footy.
That because of the name sounds like a big country name?
Yeah, Waylon Doyle.
It does, doesn't it?
Sounds like he should be in Nashville.
It does.
At the Grand Ole Opry.
Might be over the road at that concert that Cam Healy wasn't too happy about.
From the boundary throw-in. We'll get a ball up, I reckon. The roving was done by FNL, who has tried his heart out this afternoon. There was a rumour going around Geelong that he was out of Drysdale heading into this season, but it's proved to be unfounded, and Drysdale was shaking their head at where it came from. FNL again at the bottom of the pack after that stoppage. 30 and a half minutes gone.
I think they would have been doing everything in their power to keep FNL at the footy club.
Ball into the air. Tapped down by Piggott. Roving though done by McNamara of Torquay. Jams it on the boot and going wide and trying to mark. Actually did all right. Marnie, he's going to be paid the mark over the top of Hawkins. He was able to get a little spoil on it and then take in the loose footy.
Drysdale got to work hard back here. Like just flood numbers back in their 50. They cannot let Torquay score and the siren's gone.
And they won't let Torquay score. It is three-quarter time here at McCartney Oval, thanks to Bowen Timber, your specialists in the supply and installation of timber and engineered flooring in the Geelong region. It's 13-11-89 Torquay, 10-4, 64 Drysdale. The margin 25 points in opening round BFNL action. We'll take a break. Thanks to APCO Service Station. Every APCO Service Station open 24 this season. Monday at around 5 minutes to 6. You've got to have that app ready, and bang, there's dinner sorted on Monday night.
I reckon they've picked the two right people to be in the commentary box for a Boss Burger special on Monday night, Kingy.
And the good thing is I reside out on the Bellarine near Leopold, and there is a Boss Burger at Leopold.
Well, I'm in Newtown and Packington Street just around the corner, so...
Magnificent. So, make sure you've got the Boss Burger app on your phone, and you can click on that after the Cats. Well, they should get the chocolates really on Easter Monday, shouldn't they?
You'd be disappointed if Geelong couldn't get over Hawthorn at the moment. I don't think the Hawks are going fantastic.
Last remnants of the crowd making their way off the ground. Heath Jamieson with us this afternoon, thanks to the Sporting Globe. Eat, Drink, Sport, Ryrie Street in Geelong.
It's always been a frustration of mine with the huddles over the far side, getting the crowd off the ground at Torquay. The players have been ready to go for about 2 minutes and they're all just wandering over.
I'm surprised we haven't got to the point where the interchange benches actually haven't been brought to this side of the ground. Might be a question on notice down the track for Cam Healy. St Kilda have jumped Essendon 2-1-13 to no score around the grounds Leopold Sporties. 5 minutes played at Marvel Stadium. The other Saturday game, Port Adelaide and Melbourne. That'll be a good game, Adelaide Oval tonight. That'll be a nice one to kick back and have a quiet Blackmans. Yep, that would be a great game. Might have to call in and get a few Blackmans on the way home. 94-69, Anglesey leading Barwon Heads at Howard Harmer, and the final quarter about to get underway. We're going to get a late finish here. It's now 4:25, so this one's going to finish in the shadows of 5 o'clock. Final term action thanks to Boss Burger, with locations in and around Geelong. Check them out at bossburgerco.com.au. Can the Drysdale Hawks make a run at the Tigers? Back in the middle, Waylon Doyle actually doing the ruck work for the first time this afternoon at a set of bounce, and he's gone to ground, and the ball has stuck under the pack, and we'll get a ball up. Piggott winning the tap down this time, but Doyle doing the roving and then throwing it on the boot inside 50. Reef Page in front, couldn't hang on to the mark in front of Jenkins. Here's Jack Priest cleaning up, going wide, and Sykes on the juggle, couldn't complete the mark. Tamassi, a handball on the up, kick inside forward 50 was Bogue. High ball, Hughes setting himself. Hughes judged it best. Took a really good mark, Paddy Hughes, and will have a shot, and maybe this to put Drysdale to bed. Just judged it better than anybody else. That ball coming in. I reckon his old Falcons teammate Flynn Shergren was the one that just misjudged the flight there. And he's going to kick and hit the post. And the margin is 26. So a missed opportunity there for Paddy Hughes, who was kicked 2 this afternoon. Could have added a third and been the leading goal kicker on the ground for the Tigers, but has missed. Margin 26. Jenkins, the veteran, with a high ball that will float towards the boundary line, and Priest has taken a really strong mark overhead. And that's Luke wearing the number 11. Jack gets the number 9, the old man wore. Priest has kicked to the wing. It's a floater, but it works out okay. Marked by Taylor. Handball release. Quick kick forward inside 50. There's a bouncing ball in front of Ruggles. He's now wrapped up in a two-man tackle. Wasn't Fennell's best coming in on his non-preferred left. And we'll get a stoppage. Good ball movement, though, and they need to keep doing it, Drysdale. If they want to get back in the ground, come through the middle of the ground, quick play on, overlap run, get the ball in one-on-one. Ball in the air. Henderson doing the ruck work, climbed high, won the tap down. Ireland put his head over it, but so did Bruce, and Bruce was then dragged to ground after taking possession. We'll get a ball up about 45 out from the Drysdale goal. Just left of centre, attacking the southern or ocean end in this final term for Boss Burger. Tap down by Henderson. There's going to be a free kick for a throw, and it was actually going to go to Bruce anyway, because actually, it's not going to go to Bruce because he was nowhere near the footy when Mensch threw it. It was thrown to Bruce, and he's conned him, I reckon. He has. And Ben Mitch Maguire saying it's your kick, Mitch, but Bruce, and Ben, good forwards do. This way should be forward. He's a forward. He's kicked 2 this afternoon, this for a third, and to pull the margin back to 20 points and have them as close as they would have been since the 18-minute mark. He has to swing out onto the left, and in doing so has pushed that badly out of bounds on the full. No, just snuck it in for a point, and the margin again is what it was at three-quarter time at 25. 13 12.90 plays 10.5.65 on the final quarter. K-Rock Bus Burger scoreboard. And the time clock has just ticked over 3 minutes thanks to Barwon Foods as Henderson brings the ball back into play, but it's going to land it right on the chest of Bailey Sykes. Sykes swings onto his left boot. A high kick. They'll compete about 30 out from goal. Ben Henderson. Well, two Hawks can contest it against each other. Might end up okay as Egan does the roving. Outside of the left boot. Bouncing ball eludes Hargraves. Hurd coming the other way. Bogue, a handball release to Ireland. Ireland back to Hurd. Hurd in the right back pocket. A short little kick is okay for Loftus, and danger averted for the moment. Short kick at right half back. Hurley now in the hands of Marnie, the experienced Marnie. First game for Torquay. High ball, Hughes 2-on-1. Well done by Luke Priest across the front. Knocked it out of bounds. Boundary throw in. He's had a really good afternoon, Luke Priest. He
just gets in the right spots at the right time.
If you,
does everything right.
You didn't see him from front on and you just watch the gate, you just think it's his old man revisited. Boundary throw in. Front of the pack, Bruce. Handball release. Sherwin waited for it, but gave a quick release to FNL, who looped one over the top. Here's O'Dowd under pressure, but got a little kick away into the space that is now occupied by Clark. Clark now wide. Ruggles. Good spoil, Croxford, but Ruggles did well, and then he lost it in the tackle, holding the ball. Did everything right, Ruggles, after not taking the mark, but Mifsud came back to help out and won a free kick for holding the ball. His kick to the wing. There's crunch. That's surely a free kick, not paid, as Jack Priest was cluttered into, and now a free kick going which way? Holding the ball. It's going to come back to Sykes.
It's a big contest.
Umpire didn't see anything wrong with it. Called play on it immediately. Bailey Sykes driving the ball towards Egan. Can't mark. Front of the pack. Clark tried to get a handball on the up to Henderson, but missed him. And now the ball spilling back towards Tainton of Drysdale. Got away. Turns and kicks inside 50. A skidding ball. Socket off the ground by Croxford. Henderson, taken high by the other number 10, Ruggles. He'll take a free kick. And they're not happy with that tackle, some of the Torquay boys.
I don't think Tommy Ruggles was happy. I reckon Tommy thought he might have ducked into it. And that's why he started with the push and shove.
Henderson with the free kick. Left back pocket. 6 minutes almost played on the Barwon Foods final quarter time clock. Goes across the face of goal to McNamara. And the skipper of the Tigers has got it. Working hard is Hurley into space, and he marks. Still inside defensive 50. He'll kick towards the point of the square at half back, and Mensch has got it. Broadcast side of the ground. He goes short onto the chest of Marnie, and they've just tacked into the breeze nicely with some short passing. He'll now drive a kick, looking for the lead of Anderson over the head of he and Delaney. Track to the boundary line, and O'Dowd will be happy to see it out with Ireland out of bounds. Boundary throw in. About 40 around from the goal mouth that Torquay are attacking in this final term. You'd think one more goal will put Drysdale to bed with the margin at 25 points. Ball back into play. Front position is Doyle. He may have been held on to there, but either way, Torquay will come up with it. Free kick too high, and it's going to come back to McLeod, and he'll have a shot at goal on his second. Kick to goal after the halftime siren, and this one maybe to end the contest.
Being a Carmichael, he must be pulling his hair out over there because they've just been really sloppy with their tackles. They've given away so many high free kicks.
Keith Jamieson for the Sporting Globe this afternoon. Eat, drink, sport, Ryrie Street in Geelong. McLeod from 45 out, starts at left, bends it nicely on the breeze. That's a good finish from the youngster. Playing just his 16th game after featuring in the Premiership last year. He's kicked 2 goals. He only kicked 4 last year from 15 starts. He's got 2 today, and the margin is 31. And that is just about all she wrote from here at McCartney Oval. Final quarter, K-Rock Boss Burger scoreboard. Boss Burger with locations in and around Geelong. Check them out at bossburgerco.com.au. Torquay improve on the scoreboard to 14-12-96. They lead Drysdale 10-5-65. So McLeod with 2, and we're back in the middle. Mensch threw it on the boot, but the kick went straight into the breadbasket of O'Dowd. O'Dowd goes wide and finds Reed. Haven't caught a lot of Reed on debut this afternoon. Just back of the wing. Sends it towards forward 50. Bruce flew. Henderson was there as well. Just couldn't take it cleanly. Front of the pack, Sheldon Ham knocked it into the path of Mensch. Mensch fires a 25-metre handball forward towards Marnie. He brought it to ground, and at the front of the pack, Hurley just ran out of room. And if you can hear in our effects mics, the music is just starting to pump from down on the common here at Torquay.
Very Torquay-like, isn't it?
Not sure whether the surfing got a start this morning or not. Ball back into play, Kilpro. Socket out of the ruck contest by Piggott, landed fortuitously with Reed, who gave it to FNL. FNL kick inside 50, too much on it for Hargraves. Carty has had the better of that duel this afternoon for Wombat Gully Plant Farm. He's been good, the veteran, against the live wire Hargraves.
They've intercepted all day down there, Torquay. Just really good positioning, made it really tough for the Drysdale forwards.
Hargraves drills a ball onto the chest, 25 metres away. They've chased Loftus. Loftus goes short, and Henderson, who's been Mr. Reliable as always down back, he'll send a kick just forward of the wing. Doyle jumps off 2 feet, got a shove. That'll be a free kick. And now advantage will be paid, although really no advantage. Grace tried to put it into the path of McLeod. McLeod to soccer off the ground and went through the arms of Anderson, and also Delaney, and out of bounds for a boundary throw-in in the left forward pocket. And just got the feeling that this one is now done.
It's fizzing out, I think, Tommy.
Nearly 10 minutes played on the Bowen Foods time clock, 96 plays 65. Hope you've enjoyed the call as much as we have, bringing it to you through carrockfootball.live and the AFL Bowen live stream. From the boundary throw-in, O'Dowd did the roving at the front of the pack for Drysdale. He had no room to work with. Out of bounds it went, and another boundary throw-in. Around the grounds for Leopold Sporties. We'll keep an eye on that Bowen Heads Anglesey score. And it looks like the Roos are going to take the 4 points away from Howard Harmer Oval. 115-75 they lead with just over 6.5 minutes to play.
It's a big win for the Seas.
I suspect Jay Kerris will be up and about after that one.
Will be, very much so.
Left forward pocket, ball up. Clearing kick out of the pack from Egan, doing the roving from the ball up. Hurd attacking it for Torquay, just couldn't hang on to it, and out of bounds it goes for a boundary throw in.
That's the first cramper I've seen. We had about 30 by half time yesterday in our game.
Yeah, there was a few at Port Arlington and Newcombe as well. Right at the end of the game, Braden Poole from Port Arlington, big right leg cramp taken high. It was Flynn Sherwin. Sherwin's been serviceable on debut.
He has, got his hands on it a bit.
Kick to the middle. It's a beautiful ball to Randoni. Randoni, another left footer, sends it looking for Ruggles, who couldn't mark, although he's at an arm chop. It is against Croxford. And the free kick will go to Tommy Ruggles. Distance we might test the veteran legs. Hard to believe it's 15 years since he was a precociously talented 16-year-old, featuring in the first of back-to-back premierships. We know he went on to play some league footy with the Cats, finished with 22 games in the hoops, and probably stiff not to play a little bit more, except for, I think it was a shoulder injury, maybe on an Easter Monday that he suffered as we approached that day. Went out to the right, that's where the kick hung, front of the pack. Well, went to soccer off the ground, Hargraves. He might have actually sockered Mitch Maguire. Either way, Torquay are going to come up with it. But the clearing kick has landed on the chest of Bailey Sykes, who for a left footer will be suited by this right forward pocket, but the way the breeze is working might be just a tough kick. You'd be looking at right-hand goalpost and just allowing the breeze to take it and push it across the face.
Good lead by Ruggles, but didn't want anything to do with it.
Sykes from about 35 metres. That is a wonderful kick, but it's just faded late. And, it's actually faded really that badly. It's faded and hit the behind post. The early indications from the goal umpire was he was tracking a ball going through between the two big white ones.
I agree.
McNamara wanted to play on quickly with a kick to Hurley, but has been told to get back behind his mark. 12 and 3/4 minutes played. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock, Barham Foos time clock, I should say. 14:12.96, 10:5.65. Kick of McNamara marked by Cardi, who feeds by hand to Hurd, who kicks his time on his right. That was a well-weighted ball over the head of Loftus to allow him to run onto it, although he's going to have Reid for company. Oh, it was a little bit too easy from Loftus, the push off on Reid, and then the shot at goal has missed to the left and through for a minor score, and the margin is 32. Started really well. Did Chase Loftus set the tone early in the midfield for the Tigers. Jenkins kick in taken by Jack Priest, who swings the ball towards a one-on-one. Bruce against Sheldon Ham. Bruce trying to keep it in front of himself. He went to ground and then Ham went over the top of him and out of bounds at true centre wing. Right below our best seats in the house, thanks to APCO service stations. Every APCO service station open 24/7 this Easter. 97 playing 65 on the final quarter. Bossberger K-Rock scoreboard. Doyle doing the ruck work, won the tap down. Randoni couldn't take it. Marnie could, but lost it in the tackle. Randoni dived in on it. Also diving in there was Marnie. He won't be able to take it, and that will be a ball up.
Interesting with Doyle coming into the ruck in the last quarter, maybe just a bit more run.
McCoy again, though, this time. Piggott, the front position, won the tap down. Miffs was able to shrug off Bruce, but turned it over the handball. Egan cut through traffic, a handball to Tainton. Will have to kick on his non-preferred left, although he got past McCoy, straightened up onto his right boot. Kick inside forward 50, bounces at the feet of Ruggles and Croxford. Ruggles was smart, fisted it into space. Sykes to use his leg speed on his non-preferred side. Gets back onto his left, snaps, but didn't get full purchase. Watson dropped another one he should have taken. That's the third inside 50 that Watson's dropped today. And now holding the ball. And it's going to be a free kick to the Tigers. To the Hawks, I should say. Sykes or Hargraves will win the free kick, I think, against McNamara. And a shot at goal coming. It's been an almost afternoon for Joel Watson. He's kicked 2, but he could have easily have kicked 5.
Yeah, I think Tainton's leg speed on the wing's been pretty good. Every time he's got it, he's tried to take the game on. It's what you like to see from young players.
Tighten the right forward pocket. Hargraves, for his first of the afternoon, will have a shot. He'll go with the banana and he will deliver. In fact, that makes his second, I should say, for Jake Hargraves this afternoon. One in the third, now one in the last. But you could just got the feeling from the muted celebrations that I think they think that this is a bridge too far with the margin at 26 points. 97 plays 71 on the K-Rock Bossberger scoreboard. Bossberger with locations in and around Geelong. Check them out at bossbergerco.com.au.
Yeah, Tainton on the wing then, got the ball, took off, ran around his opponent, kicked the ball inside 50. Mark should have been taken, wasn't. Good follow-up tackle, get the shot on goal. But just so that leg speed from first gamer, or hasn't played too many games, but yeah, it's important. It's what you need. If that's your attribute, play with it.
Yep. Back in the middle. They're playing game 21 this afternoon. Remember the grand final side last year, just out of the juniors from a couple of years ago. Ball in the air. Piggott. He's had a good afternoon in the ruck, but McCoy winning the second attempt. Sherwin taking a really good tackle. I think that's Loftus over the top of him, ensuring he's going nowhere, and we'll get a ball up. Just at the edge of the centre wicket area. Umpire Cheston puts it into the air. From behind, McCoy won the tap down inside forward 50. It'll roll. First back there was Clark. And he had it reefed from his grasp by Loftus. Tried to get a handball to Mensch. Mensch on the up with slick hands. Island. Marnie wants to cut back onto his right boot. Does so. Sends a kick to about 25 from goal. Hughes in a one-on-one. Hamlin hanger contender showed real strength. Think over Crosby. And we'll have a shot at goal from 25 out directly in front and a chance to kick his third of the afternoon. I think a performance like that and what he's produced this afternoon will have Mark Corrigan interested at the VFL.
Especially the way they're going at the moment.
Shot at goal and he's hit the post 9/10 of the way up and the margin is 27. So 2-2. He's missed a couple of opportunities, Paddy Hughes, in this last term to really ice the game. O'Dowd will run out of his defensive goal square, runs his full measure and then drives a kick to just forward of the wing, and standing tall McNamara marks for Torquay. He's had a solid game, the skipper. And he's at 50 against Henderson, lucky not to be. As he encroached in the area. Kick inside 50, went through the hands of the marking target in Tamassi. Drysdale should be able to clean up O'Dowd. Just a fumble, but time to recover. Then under pressure from Tamassi, a kick that goes up the shot tower. Fisted forward by Loftus. McCoy, the unlikely rover. Handball release Mensch. Mensch on the bounce. Chance here for Ham. Kick around the corner. Rolling ball. Rolls away from Page. Does it stay alive? No. Through for a behind. Minor score. Margin 28. Bit of push and shove. As Page gets acquainted there, I think with Luke Priest, or Jack Priest I should say. Crosby will take the kick in for the Hawks. The former Newtown player driving it long very wide, looking for Henderson or Sherwin to mark. Sherwin's landed awkwardly. Just keep an eye on that for St John of God as the Tigers go back inside forward 50. Hughes again the target. Priest was there. That was Jack. He just hacks it out of midair and hacks it straight into the waiting arms of Tainton. They've got it at the back edge of the centre square. They can roll the dice and go. Sends it wide. Larking target. Watson out there, but cutting across Bogue. Judged at best, took the mark and then went short with the kick to Hurd. Still inside the centre square, back edge of the centre wicket area. Sends a kick now inside 50 and Mensch is all alone, 45 out from goal. He can go short into the right forward pocket and they are queuing up left, right and centre. And the mark taken by Diamond. About 25 out, right of centre and a shot at goal to come. To, if it wasn't already done and dusted, to ensure that the 4 points stay at McCartney Oval in round one. Diamond with 2 this afternoon. This for a third has pushed it to the right and missed. Margin 29.
Wasted a few opportunities late here, Torquay, to absolutely put it to bed.
Yeah, 1 goal 5 now in this final term. 14-16, 100, plays 11-5, 71. So it's been 30 scoring shots to 16. And we've gone nearly 20 minutes on the Bowen Foods final quarter time clock. Maguire and Luke Priest in a give and go that Maguire's kick wasn't great, but Hawkins is able to send a long ball towards half forward. Doyle back with the fly for Torquay has marked. 100 playing 71. Nearly full time, if not at Howard Harmer Oval. We'll bring you that score in a moment thanks to Leopold Sporties as Doyle sends it long looking for McCoy, but standing tall and taking the mark is Henderson. That'll be good for his confidence in that pack. Benny Henderson driving it to the middle of the ground. Bogue over the top of Bruce, knocked it down successfully into the path of McNamara. He'll bring it broadcast side. It'll be a foot race now. Sykes is there and so is Jack Priest. Look to tuck it under the arm and take on Mifsud. Mifsud was good with the tackle, slightly affected the kick. Ball lands at the feet of O'Dowd. He'll get a free kick. He was being held or taken high by McNamara. He can give a handball off to Egan, decides to ignore that. Now pulls a kick into the pocket. Ruggles in a one-on-one. It'll land at his feet. Goes past him and Croxford. Croxford first to recover. Ruggles tried to dive on the footy. He's pulled it in. If he doesn't get it out, that'll be holding the ball, I suspect. Ball does come out. It's reefed out of there by Croxford. And in the left forward pocket for the Hawks, we'll get a ball up. Final score at Howard Harmer Oval. Anglesey 117 have defeated Barwon Heads 81, Jamo. So a 6-goal win there for the Roos.
Yeah, it's a great start for their season. Barwon Heads always tough to beat at home.
Tap down McCoy towards the boundary line. It'll roll out. Will it as Randoni tracks it? It does. And we'll get a boundary throw in.
And the thing about that win is probably be around each other's mark at the back end of the year, so people can think round one's just a round one win, but when you're fighting with the same teams, they can become really important when you beat.
It's one Barwon Heads doesn't have.
Exactly.
From behind, Henderson won the tap down, but Mensch the high clearing kick. It's a floater. Egan's got a sin under it, providing the contest was Tamassi. Ball hit the ground. Well done by Crosby. Knocked it into the path of O'Dowd, who gave a handball off. Hawkins kick inside 50 wasn't great. Henderson outstanding for Torquay on the half volley and a release that was good. Mensch now a handball off. Long ball, Ham inside 50. Mifsud flew but couldn't hang on. Front of the pack, Anderson. Mifsud recovered but then ran straight into a really good Jack Priest tackle. He held him up, the young Hawk, and ensured that last year's best on ground in the grand final was going nowhere. And he'll take a free kick.
done a good job on Mifsud and Anderson today. They've, though Torquay are going to kick 100 points, if you come here today and said Mifsud would kick 1 and Anderson would kick 2, you'd think it would be in Drysdale's favour.
FNL marked the kick that came from Priest, flying and taking the mark is Mackay. He took it over his teammate in Hawke and Clark, I should say. Now a kick looking for Ruggles, one-on-one. Good spoil again. Croxford, front of the pack. Bruce trying to get a handball release. And there's going to be a free kick holding the ball. There he is against Bruce. It's going to go to Croxford. Well, the play was clear from the area. Probably didn't need to be blown, to be honest, but here we are. Croxford, a floating ball to the wing. McCoy flew over Henderson, couldn't complete the mark. Fennell was clean. Handball away into the path of Tainton, but the boundary line will beat everybody and we'll get a boundary throw in. 23 minutes played. It might be a shorter final quarter as the goals have been harder to come by, just the 2 kicked. One from Harry McLeod and then one from Jake Hargraves. Final term thanks to Boss Burger with locations in and around Geelong. Check them out at bossburgerco.com.au. Clearing kick came from Ireland. He's been pretty good this afternoon. Went looking for McCoy. Ball spoiled away, I should say, by Jenkins. Hurley, kick on the bounce. Grace gives a handball to Mensch. Mensch a kick inside forward 50. Delaney's judged it best off the boot. Back with the fly. Couldn't mark. Stolen by Anderson and gold. Oh, that's cruel on Tim Delaney. Did everything right going back with the flight, but just a little bobble as he tried to take the mark. And Anderson has basically stolen it from his grasp and then snapped one around the corner, dribbled it through and kicked his 3rd of the afternoon. And the margin is now 35. Final quarter, Boss Burger, K-Rock scoreboard. Torquay moved to 15-16, 106. Drysdale 11-5, 71. And of course, the Cats win on Easter Monday. Grab yourself a $10 burger by jumping on the Boss Burger app and clicking on the tab Cats Win. Valid for 24 hours after the Geelong boys hopefully tip over Hawthorn on Easter Monday. That's cruel, Jamo.
That's cruel. That is. Delaney in the right position. Didn't quite hold on to the mark.
Hawks go forward. FNL sends them looking down there for Bruce, who has put himself in the goal square. Randoni, handball, Bruce. There is an open goal square, but a one-on-one battle. Ruggles, Croxford couldn't get his hands on it. Ruggles fists it back to the top of the square. Wanted Hargraves, but Hurley was really good. Took the footy away, had a bounce, then shrugged away from Tainton. Handball to Hurd, who's been actually really good today. Kick to the wing, looking for Mifsud from behind. Luke Priest, a good spoil. Front of the pack taken by McLeod. A handball back. Ham tried to put a kick over the top into the path of Mifsud. Foot race. Priest to keep him honest. Did okay, but Mifsud did well to knock it towards Tomasi. Sheldon Ham, a handball on the up. Now Tomasi with the left foot kick. Oh, big spoil came over the top. O'Dowd, he didn't get a hand on it. And there'll be a free kick advantage. And Ireland should run into an open goal and finish. O'Dowd went over the top, I think, of McLeod, got nowhere near it, and the margin is now out to 41 points. Final quarter, K-Rock Boss Burger's scoreboard. Boss Burger with locations in and around Geelong. Check them out at bossburger.com.au. And Torquay add another one to their tally. Back-to-back goals to move to 16-16, 112. Drysdale 11-5, 71.
Really searching for the siren here. I think the Hawks, Torquay, will keep running. They've got a hungry side. Mifsud and these guys starting to get into the game late, which would be annoying the hell out of the Drysdale defenders, because the pressure's well and truly dropped through the midfield, and you've done a good job to hold these players all day, and then your midfield's not giving you the support late in the game, and they're starting to run all over the top. So, Priest has done a fantastic job on him today. I think kept him nice and quiet. Timmy Delaney's done a good job. They'd be disappointed with their midfield now, just allowing these boys just running hard forward and getting plenty of inside entries to get them a couple of cheapies towards the end and diminish the job that they've done.
10 individual goal kickers, Jamo. And they look to go forward again. Bogue received it from Ham, who gave it to Hurley, who gave it back to Bogue, although he had to wait for it on the bounce. Did okay, got away from Watson. His little dribble kick, underground was good. Now a handball from Loftus. Hurley confronted, stepped around Tainton and also Sykes, and then kicked back to Hurd at centre-half back. Missed Bogue. This is a bit scrappy from the Tigers. Bogue got it to McCoy. McCoy brought to ground. We'll get a ball up. Maybe a bit of Lairising there from Torquay.
Yeah, they've probably got the right to do it. I think that half-back line, Hurd, Hurley, Henderson, McNamara, I think they've been unstoppable all day. So if they got the ball in their hand and want to have a bit of fun, let them have it.
Henderson from Drysdale won the tap. Hurd did the roving. That's surely a free kick. He was nudged under the footy. Was Hawkins. Play on advantage. Jenkins has run himself into trouble. Somehow got a handball away among two Tigers. Diving on it was Marnie. A handball on the bounce that it will land okay with Ham. Through the middle of McCartney Oval. A handball on the bounce. I'll attack from half back. Driving ball. Long inside forward 50 from Hurley over the head of both Anderson and Delaney. And it's out of bounds for a boundary throw in left forward pocket. Anderson looking for a free kick that will never come. As we approach 28 minutes gone in this final term on the Barwon Foods time clock. Barwon Foods selling the freshest fish direct to you, Donga Road in North Geelong. Tamassi doing the ruck work, and a little double palm down at the back, trying to knock it into the path of Diamond. Ham, he couldn't take it cleanly. Hurley tried to burst his way through, left the footy behind. Diamond didn't know, and Diamond gold. Late goal of the day contender from Tommy Diamond, who's now got 3. That's some sort of afternoon for a small forward. And now the margin is a game high, 47 points. They have really put them to the sword now, as Drysdale seem to have run out a little bit of legs in this final term. 3 goals for Tommy Diamond, and Torquay now have 17 on the board and really have rammed this one home. 17-16, 118. Drysdale 11-5-71 on the final quarter. Boss Burger scoreboard. Boss Burger with locations in and around Geelong. Check them out at bossburgerco.com.au.
Diamond's work rate's been great all day. He works up high, helps out his midfield, helps out his defenders, and then he runs hard back to goal, and he's getting his reward. 3 goals.
Back in the middle, Bogue does the roving from the ruck contest and sends a kick wide, and it's marked on the chest by Marnie, who looks like he's going to be a handy acquisition. Marnie lowers the eyes, sends it inside 50. 2 targets, Tamassi. Handball was cut off by Luke Priest. Mifsud through traffic. Mifsud again. Mifsud with a left foot snap. And this is really blown out now. This margin's at 53 points. 18-16, 124. 11-5-71. 29 and a half minutes played on the Barwon Foods time clock, and not what Ben Carmichael wanted in the closing stages of this one.
No, it wouldn't be. He wouldn't be happy with the way they're finishing the game off. But, Torquay, they're a high-scoring team. When they get on top, they're hard to stop. So when the edge is out of the game and they're still running on top of the ground, it's hard to stop. And you've just got to hope that the siren comes quicker when they're in this mood. They're hungry and they want to keep scoring. You just got to hope that the game goes faster.
It's a big few weeks for Drysdale. Barwon heads, then down, and then Anglesey both at home. Newcombe and then Port Arlington over the next month. Well, April for Torquay, Newcombe, Ocean Grove, Amos and Anglesey is there next month. So you would think right now Torquay is starting very, very warm favourites against Newcombe and Ocean Grove.
I think Torquay are going to start favourites in most
probably
games.
Probably every game. That's fair.
I think they're going to be hard to stop.
I was probably being polite.
Yeah.
Loftus, what a wonderful handball. McLeod stepped through the oncoming traffic, drove it long one-on-one. Delaney's been good all afternoon, did well again against Anderson as that ball gets out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Good Wombat Gully Plant Farm match-up, and they needed a key defender, did the Hawks, and they've got a really good one in Tim Delaney. Plenty of experience at GFNL level with Grovedale. And when his brother lines up as well in the forward line, they'll have a couple of very handy bookends. From the boundary throw-in, Egan's picked up the loose footy, taken high. Will win a free kick as we tick to 31 minutes. And that is the final siren. Torquay holds sway over Drysdale again as they did on grand final day. They win by 53 points, 18-16, 124 to 11-5-71. The Tigers start their premiership defence in pretty emphatic fashion. Heath Jamieson, who's been with us this afternoon, thanks to the Sporting Globe.
Yeah, I think it was pretty dominant fashion, like you said, Kingy. I thought they were on top all day. Drysdale started well early in the first quarter, but after Tommy Ruggles kicked those 3, they looked like if they got the ball in deep, they were looking good, but they just didn't get in there anywhere near enough. I think Torquay's mids got on top, and once they did, it was just all she wrote. They dominated the game, I suppose, from 15 minutes on in the first quarter to the end of the game. Running out big winners in the end. kicked probably the last 5 goals in junk time, but, you know, if one side's up and running at that time, it's entitled to be the one that are leading, and they get a nice little percentage boost, which I'm guessing they probably weren't expecting today, but scoring shots way out of whack. Yeah, Drysdale will be disappointed with their efforts, but they'll be a good side. They'll bounce back, get some personnel back in, as we've mentioned today. But yeah, Torquay look ominous. They're going to be a hard side to stop all year, and everyone's going to have their work cut out that comes up against them. As Jonesy, I'll leave this to you, Kingy. Jonesy coming off in his 500th game.
Yeah, so being and there's a couple of signs as well for him, which is fantastic. So I think a bit of family around him. So well done to Chris Jones, 500 games. Umpired. He's one of those guys that he's one of the fittest going around. He backs up and does 2, sometimes 3 in a weekend, depending if there's Friday night footy being played. So he's racked up the game. So well done to Chris Jones. 500 games thrown today with Steve Ganachia and David Chaston. We're in the 5th quarter thanks to the Sandman Mattress Factory. Sleep better with the Sandman's locally made 2-sided mattresses, made to outlast any other. We're going to catch up with the coaches thanks to Metricon. Metricon giving you the freedom to get more of what you want in a brand new home. And of course, anytime you can jump on the KFC X. Shout your mates with KFC, an $8 KFC box, online only, Jamo. Actually, that could go down really good right about now.